because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Find what you love what you find at Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. All kinds of beers and thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
If you see a student being bullied, be supportive. Ask if they're okay and invite them to join you. You'll be an ally and you can make a friend. Friendship! Visit StopBullyingSpeakUp.com and join Cartoon Network to redraw your world without bullying.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Warm and muggy this afternoon. A good chance for scattered thunderstorms. It's a WRAL weather alert day with a level 1 risk. That means a few isolated storms producing wind damage, hail, or even an isolated tornado. We'll see a high of 82. Mid-60s tonight with storms diminishing. Tomorrow we'll have a much smaller chance for storms, and it turns hotter with a high of 90 degrees.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is down 71 points to 42,069. Market update brought to you by the Body Armor State Games. The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Now Gossesbear, he scores! Top of the left circle. Off the catching up rebound. He scores! Seth Jarvis. Now Hall all alone. In on Thompson. Hall scores! What a play! Walker holds, shoots, and scores! And it's Andrei Svechnikov with it. Bingo!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Wednesday. Rainy outside, but we're having a great time. Pumped up inside. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. Canes have an off day, a travel day, if you will. Getting ready for tomorrow's Game 5 against the Caps, so we're going to do the same. And I guess we got to give a shout out to Rod Brindamore and the decision-making circle of the Canes, because it might be like, hey, on Wednesday, right, haven't played in a couple of nights. The next game's not till tomorrow. We have all this pent-up energy. What are we going to talk about? Well, they went ahead and skated this morning at practice before traveling. And it took about 2 seconds from everyone getting on the ice for the words Nikishin with Orlov to just spread through all of Canes fandom. Jalen Chatfield not at practice this morning, which opened up a spot for Nikishin. It's Alexander Nikishin. At this point, it's like the idea of Nikishin is just a myth. It's Paul Bunyan. It's Hercules, right? He's unbelievable. He solves all of your problems. He just hasn't quite played at all in the NHL. Chatfield, who tweaked something, was kind of the term used at the end of Game 4, was not on the ice. Before your imaginations run any more wild than they probably are, Chatfield is still expected to play tomorrow.
Yep, Rod said it himself.
He is still expected to play tomorrow. But the move to put Nikishin in that spot when Chatfield needed a day, I think is still enough to get everybody excited. I don't think you do that unless you feel you need to. Right? And here's what I mean by that. You know that is something that will be noticed. Right? You could have slid Scott Morrow into you could have skated in a weird configuration. You could have done things that people would have just gone, all right, they're giving Chatfield the day. But instead you put Nikishin in there, and you know that that's the thing that's going to go viral. You know that that's the thing that everybody's going to talk about. You know that that's what you're going to be asked about in your media availabilities. So doing it means like, hey, if it's what's best for the team, you do it. But if it's something you're just kind of floating around there, you probably protect it a little bit to eliminate the distraction. Same with him skating for warm-ups in Game 4, right? If you walked into the Lenovo Center a little early, right? It was Monday, you want to bug out on work a little bit early. You walked in a little bit early. You saw Nikishin in warm-ups in a jersey, a game jersey on game day with the game day roster. You don't do that unless you think it is necessary. It's the same thing as I learned this lesson as a freshman in college, and it really wasn't a lesson, and it's not a huge deal, but I do vividly remember the coach looking at me with just like I had just, I don't know, injured someone in his family. I was a backup quarterback, second string. Starter wasn't playing fantastic, just had a day where it wasn't going awesome. And for whatever reason, I was just thinking like, I better stay loose, right? Freshmen want to make it happen. So I started warming up on the sidelines, got a receiver to play catch with me. Coach came over and basically said, there's one time you warm up with any kind of look in your eye, and that's if the starter is laying on the ground and the trainers are going to look at him. You like, if they're not playing well, you don't start warming up because then everybody starts wondering what's going on. And by the way, you're not going into the game. And I was like, fair. Right? Because it made a conversation. It makes the defense look over like, oh, what is he warming up for? It makes fans. This didn't happen because nobody knew who I was. But, backup quarterback's always the most popular guy, right? If fans start getting excited, that's bad for everybody. The fact that Nikishin is getting ready, if it is necessary, they're putting him in warm-ups, they're skating him at practice when the opportunity arises, tells me he's truly number 7 of the defenseman rotation. He is the next man up. He's been with the team now for what, like 2-3 weeks? He's been with the team for meaning
about a month now.
Just when I say been with the team, I just mean like in the country.
Yeah.
He's obviously been in they've owned the rights for a long time, but he's been physically around the team for we'll go about a month. All the days are bleeding together.
Yeah.
There's a good chance that at some point somebody's going to need a day. Nikishin's going to have to be ready, and I think the fan base is ready to see what that means.
I mean, Rod's doing the thing of, this is all the contingency. Hey, if Jalen Chatfield can't play, this is what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the reason why he even said afterwards, we're going to probably need him on whatever day and at some point during this postseason because someone's dealing with something. So let's get him in the routine of, hey, this is what it's like to go skate and warm up, just to get that out of his system already. I mean,
the part
that's 100% what it is, just getting a guy ready just in case.
The part that stands out to me is it is not like him not having played in the NHL is not a deal breaker for his number being called. There are probably coaches out there, and I know that in the NHL it's not as unusual to like make a guy's debut in the postseason. Rod Brindamore did it as a player. But there are probably coaches out there that would say, no, I'm not throwing a rookie in. Or I'm not throwing a completely brand new, still in the seal, still in the wrapping, brand new player in there. If it happens, we'll go to somebody more veteran. That's obviously not the case. If Chatfield, and by the way, Chatfield's tough as nails. If he can go, he will be out there. If he can't, Nikishin's the guy. And I think that's true. And by the way, that would force Orlov to play off offhand, I believe is how they would
he'll play on his right side.
So it's not even that. It's not like whoever goes down on the defense, I believe Nikishin's next man up. And that is an interesting little piece of information to file away and keep in mind as things do or don't happen as far as injuries in the future. There are a few other decisions that I think the Canes are mulling over. Roslovic or Jankowski, I think is one of those conversations that is just they're going to, like, Rod is going to check up with the people that he trusts darn near every game if Jankowski is healthy enough to go. Roslovic has had highs and lows, right, as he's gotten his opportunity in this series. Jankowski has been maybe a bit more steady, but you're losing a little bit of scoring bite, although what was it, like 7 goals in his first 10 games? Like
7 or 8, yeah.
We know he's got it in there somewhere. That's an interesting one, and I think going on the road, you might lean towards Jankowski due to his ability to defend and maybe more. There's less matchups that scare you when Jankowski is out there. You feel like you have to hide Roslovic a few times if you get caught in weird matchups.
The way they skated today was Roslovic was skating between Taylor Hall and Logan Stankoven. So, to me, you're not taking that out.
Which is hilarious that we're like, is he in? No. Or is he centering the second line? Like, that is a very, very big gap there. But I think that's one that they talk about a lot. And then they did, I keep using the term mess around. It's not mess around. That makes it sound like it's just off the wall. They did shuffle up maybe the defensive pairings a little bit at the end of Game 4. I don't think that's how you start, right? They finished the game really with Sean Walker and Jacob Slavin skating together, which by default puts Brent Burns and Gostisbehere on the same pair. I don't think you start with that, but I do think that's something that you keep in your tool bag. That's something that you know now can work, and if you need a spark or you want to give somebody a few more minutes, you have that, right? It's similar. I was talking about this earlier. It's similar to Jarvis being moved up mid-game to the Ahos fetch line. Like, you know what you have there, right? You don't have to be worried about it. If you feel like you need a change-up, throw Jarvis up with the top line. You're good, and you know you're good. And you can put darn near anybody with Stahl and Martinook because those guys are such a pair that they can kind of assimilate whoever you want to throw there. Mixing things up during the postseason in game it's a luxury to know you have that at your disposal. There's because you don't want square pegs and round holes, right? You don't want just things that don't fit being your option. So it's just another thing to keep in mind. Another thing for Rod to talk about. Although I don't know if he's the chatterbox maybe that some people in my industry would be, in radio would be, if we had all the power. We'd want to talk things out. He might just go, no, I know. We got it. Good players. They can play together.
Yeah, he don't care.
Well, I'll make the decision during the game when I need to. Perfect. Let's hear from Rod real quickly here on the chance that they have tomorrow to close the series, but also mixing that up with sticking to what they've been doing and not changing any of their identity.
That's the trick. I mean, it's not even the trick. It's what we've been doing every day that we've been here, is focusing on what is right in front of us and trying to win that day, win that game. So that's what we have. That's the task tomorrow.
I actually think they've done a really, really good job of being in the right mindset at different points in this postseason. Maybe my favorite thing about this postseason run. And I think that'll continue because we have no reason to think it won't. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Not only is today an off day and a travel day and a practice day for the Canes, it is also one of the funniest days of the offseason in the NFL. It is schedule release day. The NFL is releasing all of the schedules at 8 p.m. tonight, but for some reason I know a whole bunch of the schedule for the Panthers already. Stick around. We'll give you the updates. Who are they starting with? Where are their primetime matchups? And more coming up.
Need more Stanley Cup chatter, Canes fans? Listen afternoons at 12:15 and 4:15 for our Cup Check-In. Served up by Carolina Ale House. Adam Gold talks with hockey's best past and present, bringing you the latest insight on the chase for Lord Stanley's Cup. It's the Cup Check-In on 99.9 The Fan. Served up by Carolina Ale House. Come to Carolina Ale House Cary for away game watch parties throughout the playoffs, or visit carolinaalehouse.com/Canes.
Na, 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 na.
Are you ready for a global summer showdown? Thursday, June 19th at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Football legends collide at the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. Inter Miami and FC Porto. Lionel Messi and Jordi Alba taking on Diogo Costa and Rodrigo Mora. Don't miss your chance to be part of history. Grab your tickets now at FIFA.com/tickets.
Out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated the kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166171 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
It's back. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale at the Carscott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki outboards May 16th through the 18th. And it's bringing the largest inventory and deepest discount of the year. Save thousands off top brands. On-site financing to get you approved and on the water. Boats in stock and priced to move now. Test ride your boat at delivery. Get in a new boat or upgrade in time for summer. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale, May 16th through 18th at the Carscott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki outboards.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice, quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for Clayton Homes. And as you know, here in North Carolina, summer's heat up. And so are those deals at the Clayton Homes Sign and Save event. Right now, you can save up to $5,000 instantly on a brand new home. That's $2,500 off a single section or $5,000 off a multi-section home. And you know these homes are built tough in state-of-the-art facilities that protect them during construction. And you know every home is loaded with energy-smart features, giving you comfort, efficiency, and long-term savings. And with tons of floor plans and fully furnished models, it's easy to find your perfect match. Visit your local Clayton Homes or Oakwood Homes or check out limited time offers now at manufacturedhomeoffers.com. But don't wait. The Clayton Homes Sign and Save event ends August 31st. Terms and conditions for the Sign and Save sales event at manufacturedhomeoffers.com. Available only at participating Clayton Homes family of brands retailers through 8/31. Amount of savings may be limited. Ask for details. May not be available with certain financing. Lender restrictions apply.
Young under center. Here's the snap. Play fake. Rolling right. Throws back of the end zone. Tommy Tremble, center cut, wide open. Touchdown, Carolina.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is almost football season, everybody. Is it really? Not really. But we do know how football season will start for the Carolina Panthers. Gosh, I really wanted to say, my brain really wanted to say Carolina Hurricanes right there. Carolina Panthers. I'm going to try to keep this all straight.
It's a lot harder than people think.
Bryce Young and the Carolina Hurricanes take on, there's the Florida Panthers. Never mind. I don't want to make our job seem difficult. Oh. It's not. It's fun. So here's the deal, everybody. Tonight, really, is NFL schedule release night. 8 p.m. tonight is when everything will be officially locked in. However, people that are on the inside, people that have sources, and let's be real, the NFL wants it to happen this way. There's been leaks throughout the day on who will be playing which team, where, and when, and it's an old school move media-wise by the NFL, right? If they give us a morsel every half hour, they keep us hanging on the line for a full day. If they gave us just the full meal at 8, we'd eat it, we'd be done by 8:15. So we'll break it down. We'll have the full breakdown tomorrow. But I can tell you this. We already knew the opponents, by the way, and we knew home and away already, by the way. We're just finding out when, where, which one are prime time, all that sort of thing, and where, meaning if there's any international games. I can tell you from a respect standpoint, I think it's a wash, and here's what I mean. The first 2 games are at Jacksonville, that is week 1, and at Arizona, week 2, traditional Sunday games, probably 1 o'clocks. That's not a ton of respect to the Panthers. Starting on the road with two non-conference or non-divisional games, but you want to be home to get things going, right? You're trying to build momentum for your season. You want to be at home, particularly against 2 teams that you're looking at not as the biggest threats in the world. Then there will be a home game, depending on who, we don't know yet, in week 3. Then at New England. Again, so 3 of your first 4 on the road, that's not screaming, hey, we want this team to build some momentum, and that's a bummer. However, from the positive side of things, they do have a Monday Night Football game. They are playing San Francisco at San Francisco late November. It'll be the 24th of November in week 12 on Monday Night Football. I hear that. I think they think the Panthers are going to be pretty good. Somebody in the NFL looked at that game, Panthers at Niners, and thought there's a chance there will be stakes on this. There's a chance that both teams will be playing decent. There's a chance that even if you think the Niners are some juggernaut, you think that the Panthers can give them an entertaining game. So I think they kind of come out even in the respect category. The first month of the season, you get no respect. Little Rodney Dangerfield. But then you get a Monday night game late November at the Niners, and you're like, wait a second, somebody might actually think they're pretty good. Somebody in that scheduling room thought that was a good idea. I'll give you everything we know at the moment, okay? Just to break it down quick and dirty, then we'll have a quick conversation about it. Week 1 at Jacksonville. Week 2 at Arizona. Week 3 is home. We don't know the opponent. Week 4 at New England. Week 5 versus Miami at home. Don't know week 6. Week 7 at the Jets. Week 10 versus the Saints at home. Week 12 is that Niners Monday night game on the road. And then week 13 is versus the Rams at home in Charlotte, and that's what we are aware of at the moment. Shout out to Nerding on NFL. They have a pretty good spreadsheet of everything kind of put in all across the league. They claim to have 55.5% of the entire NFL schedule on this spreadsheet. So they're doing all right. All right, let's break down week 1 real quickly. Week 1 at Jacksonville. This one, I think they're dumb for putting it on Sunday, kind of in a time slot that might get lost, because it has storylines. First of all, the Carolina Panthers have the not enviable. Nobody will be jealous of them for facing Travis Hunter for the first time in the NFL. They are going to be the guinea pig that has to be prepared for Travis Hunter to play 100% of snaps on offense and barely on defense, or 100% of on defense and barely on offense, or 100% on both, or 50% on both, or none of both. They have to be prepared for it. They don't know how Travis Hunter is going to be used. Everybody else on their schedule, on the Jacksonville Jaguars schedule, gets to look at the Panthers game as a blueprint for, sure, it could be a little different. Sure, it could be a little game to game, but we know generally what they're going to trust him to do. Panthers kind of have to go in blind. It's also a matchup, just in storyline kind of things to note, matchup of the last two Buccaneers offensive coordinators.
Yeah, that's right.
That Baker Mayfield has helped both of them go ahead and get head coaching jobs. It's the battle of the brothers, Trevor Etienne with Jacksonville running back, and Trevor Etienne, fourth-round running back. Did I get them backwards?
You just said Trevor and Trevor.
Travis Etienne, running back for the Jaguars, first-round pick from a handful of years ago, Clemson. Trevor Etienne, not Trevor Lawrence, Trevor Etienne. This one's just, I'm going to make mistakes here, Dennis. Correct me when I get them wrong. Trevor Etienne, fourth-round pick of the Panthers in the most recent draft, another running back. This will be his NFL debut. So it's cool for Travis Etienne that he gets to be in attendance for Trevor Etienne's NFL debut. It's just kind of a bummer that they're going to be trying to ruin each other's game during Trevor's NFL debut. Then there's the two highest drafted receivers. If you count Travis Hunter as a receiver, it's Tet McMillan and Travis Hunter, first two wide receivers drafted, making their NFL debuts against each other, which is a storyline in and of itself. There's a lot of stuff going on here.
You also have former teammates Travis Hunter and Jimmy Horn Jr.
Jimmy Horn Jr., who was a sixth-round pick of the Panthers.
They got all of it connected.
It's to me, there's like made for Hollywood stuff. There will be a lot of like the color commentator for that game, whoever's the broadcast crew, the analyst. He's not going to have to do a ton of research because every time there's a lull, he'll just have an awesome fact to bring up or an awesome story to tell. Right? I talked to Trevor about matching up with his brother Travis, and he actually worked out with Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne, whatever, 2 off seasons ago, trying to get ready for his time at Georgia.
Also, the Panthers and Jaguars made their NFL debuts at the same time. When they're both expansion teams at the same time.
They've opened the season against each other twice, most recently 2015, which is when the Panthers went on a little run you may have heard of, all the way to the Super Bowl. There's a lot going on there.
2003?
2003. That was the first time. So,
there was a little run to the Super Bowl.
I was going to say, so there's really only one way this season's going to end. That one right there, that's just week one. That's just week one. I'm sure as time goes on, we'll find more and more ways to make that a thing. And then week 2 at Arizona. Week 4 at New England. A lot of road games early on against beatable teams. It's not outlandish. I'll say this, and then it probably won't be true, and you'll say that I was too early. It's not outlandish. By the time they play their home opener, they're 2-0. I don't know if it's likely, but it's not completely outside the realm of possibility. By the time they play Miami at home in Charlotte, if you just beat Jacksonville, who beatable, Arizona, maybe a little less, but beatable, and you have New England.
Beat them last year.
You have New England in week 4. They were one of the worst teams in the league last year. 2 or 3 wins going into week 5 at home versus Miami. 1 or 2 losses. That's now we're talking. We're flirting with 500, maybe on the way above it. Maybe trying to stay above that line.
Or they're 0-2 to start the season, and tickets will be really easy to get at Bank of America.
Or it's 0-2. Travis Hunter is some kind of superhero in cleats. They chased around Kyler Murray all day, and we are writing obituaries. There's a few different options here, but at least it's not like Chiefs Bills, right? At least it's not like, hey, this one's going to be a tough start. They may be on the road, which makes it more difficult, but I would say the first month is gettable. It's realistic. We'll see who's playing week 3. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If we get some noteworthy updates during the show, we'll update you on that. If we just get like, oh, they're playing the Saints week 6, we'll probably keep those to ourselves. But if there's something cool, we'll let you know. We have the Dean's List coming up. We have an update on Bill Belichick's, saga. Epic. It's probably an epic, right? It's more like the Odyssey.
At this point.
His run as UNC head coach and more. But before we get to any of that, Dennis Cox has something for you.
Hey, folks. Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. Bad weather. Bike gets parked. It's an unfortunate reality of when you ride a motorcycle. But here's something about being a motorcycle rider that everyone can appreciate. One of the things that we love about sports, obviously rooting for our favorite teams, When you're a fan of a team, or even if you play a sport, you are automatically part of that community in some way, shape, or form. And that's exactly what being a motorcycle rider is. You are part of that community. And this is where Law Tigers is important for the motorcycle riding community, because they're riders too. They're already understanding what you're going through in terms of being on a bike, in terms of the risks that are out there. If you're in an accident, they know what your bike is worth. They know what your gear is worth. They understand what you're going through because they are part of that community. That's why if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, you call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS first. You go to the people that are in your community that support you. That's what Law Tigers is for. They're riders too. They, again, know what your bike, your gear are worth, and what you're going through after an accident. That's why you got to give Law Tigers a call if you're injured in a motorcycle accident. And because they're part of that motorcycle riding community, they do not get paid until your case settles. And also, your case evaluation is always free. So call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle injury lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll get to the Dean's List coming up, and I can tell you this. 3 different, very different UNC players across different sports, different eras have made the Dean's List today. So Tar Heel fans, keep your ears perked up. We'll be back after this.
Your home shelters your dreams and protects your memories. At Baker Home Exteriors, we understand this deeply. It's why we've dedicated ourselves to caring for homes like yours. As part of the Baker Roofing family, we bring a century of expertise to every project, from roofing and siding to windows and decks. We don't just upgrade homes, we help protect the life you've built within them. Because your home is where our heart is. Visit BakerHomeExteriors.com and start your home's next chapter.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We have unlimited data that never slows you down, covered by the Verizon 5G network, and all for less than $30 a month when you get 4 lines. And the best part, we give you a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G when you switch to the 5G Unlimited or 5G Plus Unlimited plan. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s. And less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-566-1649. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-566-1649. That's 800-566-1649. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's go ahead and potentially give away some tickets. Get the Lead Out returns to DPAC this Saturday night, May 17th. Text keyword LED, L-E-D, to 919-860-5326 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the show. May 17th, that's close. It's the 14th today. Get the Lead Out to DPAC this Saturday night. 919-860-5326 is the number. Text in just the keyword LED, L-E-D, for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the show. Get it in quick so you can make your plans. Here's the deal. Right now it's time to fire up the Dean's List. Dennis, we'll play this one as a choose your own adventure. I have 3 UNC athletes and then a couple others, not related to UNC, that I'm throwing on the Dean's List. Would you like the player from, I would say, before 1970, the player who just decided to leave, or the player who's still in the, like, kind of the prime and cranking away for the Tar Heels?
The first one.
All right. Larry Miller, UNC great basketball player Larry Miller, passed away at the age of 79 earlier this week, and I want to give the proper praise, right? That's what we do here on the Dean's List. Those that deserve a little extra zip, a little extra praise, few extra accolades. Larry Miller is one of those, and it's, I mean, the gift and the curse of a basketball program like UNC is sometimes legendary players get a little group together with just a bunch of others, right? When you play the same program as Michael Jordan and blah 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 blah. I'm just gonna read some facts about Larry Miller's basketball career at UNC. He is a 2-time ACC Player of the Year and ACC Tournament MVP. He is a member of the College Basketball Hall of Fame. He was a star on Dean Smith's very first 2 ACC championship and Final Four teams in 1967 and 1968, when he was an All-American in both seasons. He is one of 3 players ever to win ACC Player of the Year and Tournament MVP honors in consecutive seasons. And he is the only UNC Tar Heel to win ACC Player of the Year twice. So think of all of your favorite UNC players that probably get talked about a little bit more in modern days. None of them were 2-time ACC Player of the Year. Larry Miller was. As a senior in 1968, he was consensus first-team All-American. And do you know who else was on that first-team All-American squad? Some call it the greatest All-American squad of all time. It was Larry Miller, UNC. Somebody who you may know now as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, at the time UCLA's Lou Alcindor. Another somebody who you may have heard played for Louisville, Wes Unseld. Another player who you may have heard, Houston's Elvin Hayes. And who's the fifth guy? LSU's Pete Maravich.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him.
I mean, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Pete Maravich are probably on the short list for greatest college basketball players of all time. Larry Miller, everything we just read, on the short list for maybe greatest ACC careers of all time. Louisville's Wes Unseld and Houston's Elvin Hayes, they're just ho-hum Hall of Famers. It's an unbelievable All-American team, and he was consensus. Oh, actually, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they were all Hall of Fame, all consensus, just all 5 of them. That's one of those years. If you voted for someone else, you lose your vote. All right, Dennis, we have a UNC player still active and a UNC player who we just learned is not.
Let's go with still active.
Jake Knapp, UNC pitcher. He is currently 10-0, which is the best record in the country. He is currently posting an ERA of 2.03, which is the 7th best in the country. And as we move towards the part of the baseball season where everybody gets really fired up, we're talking postseason. It's really good to have a starting pitcher who's pitching really well. It's the kind of thing that you can go on a run with, right? It's like, all right, Jake's got the ball. We got a pretty good chance here today, considering he's 10-0 on the year. Shout out to Jake Knapp. And then the last one, Drake Powell, UNC freshman basketball player from this past year. He did make it known today at the NBA Combine that he will be staying in the NBA draft. So UNC fans that were holding your breath for Drake Powell to withdraw from the draft and return to Chapel Hill, it won't be happening, which is a bummer. But he makes the list because it's what's best for him. This is not an exaggeration. I think if you asked most people, he tested out as the best athlete at the Combine. When it comes to explosiveness, size, speed, lateral agility, the best athlete at the NBA Combine. That's probably a smart move to just go ahead and cash out on that performance and go to the NBA. And part of the reason is, after your freshman year, you go show elite measurables. Even if you don't have, and he didn't have unbelievable statistics this past year, the NBA will give you that potential word.
Oh, traits. They love traits.
High ceiling. And you're still young enough to convince everybody you're going to go get it. If you go back to college for another year and maybe your stats don't take a giant leap forward, they're less likely to throw that potential, big ceiling. Oh, he's just needs to be molded label on you. So, from a pure business standpoint, it does make sense to go try to, get that guaranteed dollar, life-changing money, and move on. And for UNC fans out there, I believe Drake Powell is, I believe he's Hubert Davis's cousin, or they're related in some form or fashion. And he said he's known Hubert a long time, and Hubert's just happy for him, which everybody should be. 2 more quick ones here. Actually, Dennis, do you have any you'd like to throw out there?
I do have one, actually.
All right, let's hear it.
So, Auburn baseball player by the name of, let me make sure I pull it up here so I get the name correct. Auburn baseball player by the name of Andrew Dutton. Spent his first 4 years at Birmingham Southern, Division III school.
All right.
That school actually closed its doors, this past year, even though they were in the D3 World Series this past year. Closed its doors, is now a member of Auburn's baseball team. Spent the whole year basically as their first base coach. Just being like a super senior 5th year, because the COVID year and all that stuff, as their first base coach. Yesterday, against Jacksonville State, first at bat, goes yard.
Hey!
Goes yard. 2-1, boom.
Hey, Dut. That's what I call him.
I'm sure you do. Yeah, first at bat, goes yard, solo hit, or solo home run.
Coach, why wasn't I playing, Coach?
Right?
I do have a quick update for you, Dennis, just because I know you were asking about it. Bills at Panthers Week 8.
Oh, okay.
Bills at Panthers Week 8. Per nerding on NFL, the what we talked about earlier. I'm giving a Dean's List. Just that was a quick Dean's List detour. Quick Dean's List to ACC softball. As they move towards the NCAA softball championship, the NCAA softball tournament, there is a league record 9 ACC softball teams headed to the 2025 NCAA softball championships, 2 of which come from the Triangle, 17th ranked Duke and UNC. They will be joined by Clemson, Cal, Stanford, Virginia, FSU, Virginia, and Virginia Tech. Not necessarily in that order of rankings, just that's the order I read them. And then lastly, have you ever seen somebody come up with like a racket, like a good little scheme, and you're like, we should have thought of that? John Gruden gets one. He started it's funny because it's the most frustrating thing in the world. You've seen 7-year-olds that open up toys and they make millions of dollars.
Yes.
They unbox the latest Hot Wheels on YouTube.
Why didn't I do that?
And 700 million people watch and they get all the dollars. John Gruden has started just unboxing like he's a 7-year-old on toy YouTube. Gear sent to him by colleges. And it's become a weird arms race where schools want to send the coolest stuff to him so they get like the John Gruden clips. He's already gotten full boxes of gear from Duke and NC State. Just today pops up on my theorem or my algorithm on social media. He got a UNC box. A couple pairs of shoes in there. Basically everything like an assistant coach would wear. Every dry fit polo and mock sweater and he just gets. All he did was unbox it. We should have been unboxing stuff here in the studio. At least the local teams. Hey, local teams, send us some stuff. I'll open it live on air and on our YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. NC State has sent him stuff.
NC State, Duke, and now UNC.
App State has sent him stuff.
Like, this is not an exaggeration.
I'll wear your stuff.
It is not an exaggeration. It might be up to like 100 schools have sent him stuff.
Yeah.
It's a good,
I just want to know what kind of shoes he got.
It's a good racket. He got the actually you would know them. The ones, the low tops that the coaches were wearing at
the Obsidian ones.
There you go.
Actually, I bought a pair of those.
And he also got what looked like a trainer version of the threes with the whatever the elephant skin or whatever it is across the front. You got those two, and then I mean gloves and shirts and hats and sweatpants and everything. Absolutely everything.
I mean, I will gladly wear this. If you send me stuff, I'll gladly wear it. Canes as well.
Yeah.
Panthers. Hello. I mean, I'm rocking a North Carolina Courage shirt. I'll wear that.
I don't discriminate at all. William Peace, if you're out there, like all of them.
I've got plenty of Meredith College stuff. Coach there.
Meredith College, make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm an extra large.
Likewise.
Shoes, size 13.
12.5, 13 for me.
There we go.
So you can just send two of each. Same sizes. You don't have to find different stuff.
How thirsty do we sound right now? Just greedy. But John Gruden's doing it, and he's got way more money than us, so.
I know, we'll be dripping like this rain outside.
Good little racket. That's it. There you go. Dean's List. It's not a bad hustle if you can find it. It's not a bad hustle if you can find it. Speaking of UNC, Bill Belichick. I would say bouncing back in a big way. The last 2 days have been fantastic for Bill Belichick's image. Right there, after that CBS Sunday Morning interview, I don't think I've seen somebody as accomplished as him have as low of an approval rating. It was just everybody was crushing him. The last 2 days, he had the ACC meetings in Amelia Island down in Florida, and he talked to the media, including our colleagues, WRAL. You can check out that video, full interview with Brian Murphy, WRAL investigative reporter, still up at WRAL.com. Played a bunch of times on WRAL TV yesterday. We played some clips for it here. Do you know what we're learning? Well, actually, no. Let's take a step back. Let's hear from Bill Belichick. He was interviewed by ESPN as well, and apparently ESPN didn't have the same blocks that they put on Brian when Brian did the interview, because
the same restrictions.
There you go. That's the better word. Brian Murphy, right at the beginning of the video, if you go watch on WRAL.com, he says, we were not allowed to ask about Jordan Hudson and his relationship. That was part of the stipulations. ESPN got at least one question about it with an interview with Bill Belichick, and he basically said it won't impact football and it's separate, and this is what it sounded like coming from Bill himself.
I mean, that's, really off to the side. It's a personal relationship, and she doesn't have anything to do with UNC football. I'm excited to be back in the coaches' meetings and getting ready for June, and then August when we get to training camp. So June will be a big recruiting month for us, and then August we'll start getting ready for the season.
That's say that 3 months ago, and none of this happens. Say that 3 months ago, and none of this happens. And then because you kind of address that, put it in a box, lock it away, it's separate, it's not going to affect football, then the football questions start flowing. Belichick on building the 33rd NFL team model that we've heard so much about.
Well, everything we do is a pro. It's a pro model. Head coach, general manager, and we want the players to develop professionally to their maximum football level. academically and as a pro in life, to be ready to go into wherever life takes them, whether that's owning their business or working for a company or whatever that happens to be. So they're all life lessons. It's similar to the college to pro that we used to have in the NFL, where the college players became pros, but now the high school players and all college players are getting monetized. And so there's an element of a professional job of football as well as the academic side of the college scholar athlete.
How about it? Sounds like Bill Belichick. And then you mix in Inside Carolina with the breaking news I saw earlier today that the top linebacker available in the transfer portal, Andrew Simpson out of Boise State, announced earlier today that he will be heading to UNC. And so you get a couple good answers, a little bit of football talk. You deal quickly with distractions being pushed to the side. That's a great couple of days for Bill Belichick. And part of me is saying this is fantastic. The other part of me is saying I think we need to recognize how easily manipulated we are by PR strategy, because 2 days ago, the reports surfaced that the University of North Carolina football program hired a new PR executive. Albert Breer of SI.com is the one attributed with the reporting. Former Bears PR director Brandon Faber has joined the UNC program. That report was 2 days ago. In the last 2 days, Bill Belichick has completely reworked like his entire image based on what it had been the previous bunch of months. It's you know what? Now you see why like PR consultants probably get paid so much, right? That's a big difference. That's a big. We are just puppets at the beck and call of a well-worded answer. No matter what happens, right, when like PR damage control gets a hold of somebody and they start crafting the perfect messages and everything, we're going to buy it. And I know that because I just did. I'm listening to Bill going, all right, good. Yeah, it looks like UNC's back on track. And what's their over-under for wins on the season? Let's hammer the over here. It looks like they're getting the good Bill back on the same page. And to be completely honest, over the last 3 days, the only thing that's changed is they hired a better PR executive and they're promoting a better message. And there's an ESPN article out there. Bill he acknowledged that he already talked to the players about it. Talked to the players about his personal life and doesn't believe it'll be a distraction. The quote was, "I talked to the players when we met with them. We want to make the players the best they can be and giving them the best opportunity on and off the field." That's gold, right? They know it. It's not a big deal. We're talking football. That's the message, right? You can't ignore everything that's happened. The way you deal with it is very simple. Yeah, all of that happened. It's not going to affect football. The only thing I would have changed about the way Bill Belichick has handled the last 48 to like 56 hours is in the conversation with Brian Murphy, our WRAL sports investigative reporter, at the ACC meetings, when they gave the stipulation that he wouldn't answer about Jordan Hudson, the only thing I would have changed is I would have let them ask, and I would have just said, I'm here to talk football. I would have gone, that has nothing to do with football. It's not going to be a distraction. I'm here to answer football questions. We're on to Cincinnati them.
Here's the thing. I think by allowing ESPN to do it, now it gets out nationally.
Yes.
Now it gets out nationally. I'm gonna say it one time for the national people. It gets out. Now everyone knows. I only got to say it one time. I get it.
Yeah. No, I understand it. And he could have just said, like, I'm not going to answer that. I just think, like, right now there's an article on Pro Football Talk that is all about him not allowing Brian Murphy and WRAL local TV to ask any questions about Jordan Hudson. I think if you let him ask and you just were on to Cincinnati, like you do the Bill Belichick thing, like we're talking football here, that's my personal life, we're on to football, then that article doesn't exist, and you can still just answer the question one time to ESPN and move on. But and by the way, like I'm nitpicking here. Like I think the last 48 hours have been really, or 2+ days, 2.5 days, it's been really good for Bill and really good for UNC. And if it does allow him to focus on football publicly, that's huge. Because, and we've talked about this a lot, when it comes to college sports now, it does kind of matter more what everybody is buzzing about when it comes to your program. What's the brand that they can build? How can you turn players into stars? There haven't been a lot of questions asked about UNC football players recently. No one nationally is talking about Gio Lopez being the quarterback, or no one nationally is talking about, is Goss going to be able to fill in the shoes of Omarion Hampton? There hasn't been a lot of that because everything's been about the coach and his personal life. As players look around and they're looking to build their brand, you don't want to go somewhere where the coach is going to outshine you. And the coach is going, I don't want to be in this spotlight either. This isn't fun for me, but I was all right, well then deflect it, right? Turn it. Do something else with it. And I guess the lesson there is everybody who is a massive public figure, if you're going to cut costs, if you want to save a little money, don't cut the PR consultant. Apparently that's pretty darn important. And Brandon Faber, the former Bears PR director that joined the UNC program a handful of days ago, up your rate, buddy. You just got the top of your resume and sales sheet when you're making calls to other people who need a PR consultant. Up your rate. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. And speaking of college sports, there is some talk from the ACC meetings going on down there in Florida about this commission on college sports. NCAA President Charlie Baker said that he's up for anything. President Donald Trump has proposed some commissions, according to reports that surfaced last week. We'll have to continue this conversation because it's not one you fix in a minute. The one thing that I would be interested in from like a federal, if politicians and elected officials are going to get involved, is to just have rules when it comes to NIL, when it comes to paying players, whatever it is, that apply nationally.
Which is what they're asking for.
Which is the main bit of patchwork, although I've watched enough political dramas to know that that it starts with one thing on the bill and then suddenly you're like reserving land for environmental causes, and it's everyone's attaching something else. And if it could just get fair, right? Because that's what I say this often. Two most important things about sports are unpredictable and fair, right? You can't script it, and it's completely fair for both teams. If you lose, you lost because you lost. Fair across every state, I think, is important. And if some states are able to give more money, or if some states are able to, the income tax thing is mentioned in professional sports all the time, right? Like $60 million in Texas is way more than $60 million in New York. Just imagine if there were like 15 loopholes like that where states are different in advantages and disadvantages. That's kind of what they're dealing with now. It's not just the income tax thing. It's a whole bunch of other stuff. If you could kind of, term might be homogenize that, like just make it all
uniformity,
the same for everybody. I will allow elected officials to get involved with college sports just this once if they can make that happen. Because normally I'm in favor of get out. Let us handle sports. You go do more important stuff.
They want uniformity when it comes to NIL, and they also want to make sure that athletes are designated as students, not employees. That's the biggest thing that they want, because they don't want them designated as employees. Those are the two biggest things they've been spending millions on Capitol Hill trying to get that done.
I think you're pushing a rock up a hill on that one.
Yeah, I know.
It's just going to keep rolling back at you. I don't know if this is true, but David on Twitter tells us, speaking of Gruden getting the free boxes, he has also gotten a box from Philip Rivers High School, the one he coaches in Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
And Philip Rivers.
Send stuff our way.
Philip Rivers strikes me as like a flip phone guy. Like, he doesn't have the social media. He would rather dadgummit just talk to you, golly darn. But he knows how to work the media a little bit, sending John Gruden some stuff. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's go ahead and take a break. But football at 4 is coming up next. I'm going to make sure, Panther fans, on schedule release day, the draft just happened, that the main thing is still the main thing. I'll tell you what that main thing is. Stick around.
The Adam Gold Show.
I am not a watcher of Entertainment Tonight or Bravo Network. I don't care about these things. I don't care about the relationship between Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson unless it impacts football. Nobody has made the connection for me that this will impact football. But I will say this, the university can't separate itself from the relationship because Belichick is UNC football.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending in Cary. Over the years, I'm often asked why we made the choice to become one of the only mortgage companies in the state to provide loans without closing costs as a primary source of funding. And my response is always the same. How did closing costs ever become a thing? Who was that first person who asked for a lower rate, heard it would cost $15,000 to save $50 a month, smiled and said, "That'd be great"? Recently, we're noticing a trend of large national lenders quoting low rates but with a high APR. This is the definition of what happened when that first person asked for a lower rate but ignored how much it would cost. Quotes today are a two-part process. It's not just the rate, but what are the closing costs? At Miller Lending, we simply don't believe you'll keep your loan long enough to realize additional savings. So before you throw away thousands of dollars in needless fees, pick up the phone and call Miller Lending today. 919-447-3377, or simply apply online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender and MLS number 250-2146.
Adam Gold in studio with my man Jeff Hoffman from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. So I'm looking at the website here and it says gutter helmet. People go, gutter helmet?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah, absolutely. Gutter helmet's a great product, and this is a time of the year where a lot of people aren't thinking about it because they think of gutter helmet during the fall, not the spring, but you got so much falling out of the trees here with the pollen coming up. So, yeah, it's a good time. Let us come out, inspect your gutters, inspect your fascia board, do some flashing, repitch, take care of everything, and then install the gutter helmet.
And you'll never have to get on a ladder again, right?
Never have to get on the ladder again.
What about getting in the bucket of a tractor? No, don't even ask me.
Been there, done that myself.
Don't even ask me. So gutter helmets and everything else you guys do, warranty?
Yep. One-stop shop. We're going to take care of all your rotten wood, and we're going to stand behind it with a lifetime warranty and a lifetime service warranty, no clog.
Lifetime warranty. 1-800-672-4348. AluminumCompany.com.
Need a spot to cheer on the Canes? Join the Carolina Hurricanes crew at Carolina Ale House's Cary location for away game watch parties. They'll have giveaways, prizes, and more. Yeah, even Stormy will be there. Weather permitting, there'll be a lawn party with a giant TV next to the restaurant. Bring a folding chair and cause chaos. Carolina Ale House is an official partner of the Carolina Hurricanes. Come to Carolina Ale House Cary for away game watch parties throughout the playoffs. Or visit CarolinaAleHouse.com/Canes for more info. Carolina Ale House. Ale yeah.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. It is another WRAL weather alert day. We have the potential for storms this afternoon to produce some wind damage, some hail, or even some isolated tornadoes. We'll see a high of 82. 64 tonight. The storms begin to taper off. And our chance for storms tomorrow is much lower, but our temperature is higher. We'll see a high near 90 degrees.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 80 points this afternoon to 42,060. Market update brought to you by the Body Armor State Games. The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Panthers right now, meaning the Carolina Panthers, are in a really interesting offseason. There's a lot going on, right? Even the funny part is, even the stuff that hasn't changed is like news, right? The fact that you have the same coach, the same GM, you have so much coming back for a second straight year feels fresh and new. It feels like something that deserves to be talked about. Then you mix in that you drafted 8th overall a wide receiver and everybody's jacked up on that. Then you mix in that this defense will be completely reworked, right? And even something like Derek Brown. Derek Brown's been around, but he wasn't, so now he's back, and that feels fresh and new. We talked about the schedule release today, right? And they're playing the Niners on Monday Night Football in late November. That's different, right? Monday Night Football for the Panthers, that's a little fun. There's a lot going on, and I think it's important that obviously fans can think whatever they want. I'm not saying it's important in a meaningful, like you're going to change the outcome of the game. But I do think if you want to be honed in, be lasered in on what the Panthers are going to be trying to do this upcoming year, you need to make sure that Chuba Hubbard is right there in the middle of it. And more specifically, right, we always say it's the running back, but it's the running back paired with the offensive line. The engine is still the same. I think the Panthers this year are I mean, just to use that analogy right there, they are a car that has a new paint job. They got new leather interior. They like everything. They got the it's like Pimp My Ride, right? They threw televisions and a bunch of the headrests. Like, it is a different car, but if you pop the hood, it's the same engine. And that's the part you elected to keep. That's the part you elected not to change up. It is the offensive line and Chuba Hubbard. The new and the fancy is nice, but you have to remember where your bread is buttered. And on top of that, you know, I was vocal, right? I didn't love the idea of paying Chuba Hubbard what they ended up paying him. He ended up being, as of this morning, and it actually changed since I wrote this down, he was the 12th highest paid running back in average annual value, but he was one spot above Derrick Henry, who got a fat contract extension today. So Chuba Hubbard's the 13th highest paid running back in the NFL in average annual value on their contracts. Right below now Joe Mixon, right? So that's the type of volume and production you need, and probably even a little more than that if you want to have a positive return on that investment. And then all of the cool doodads and gadgets that you've added become even better. Right? The Pimp My Ride thing just kind of happened. I wasn't even planning on talking about it. But have you read any of the articles? They come out once every like 4 or 5 years on like the where are they now, the cars of Pimp My Ride, and darn near none of them were even like drivable like a year after the show ended. Maybe they were drivable. Maybe I'm being a little dramatic. But my point is, you know, the fish tank that you put in the back seat, those fish weren't still alive. No. You know, six years later, if you know what I'm getting at there. The engine really becomes the most important part. And as long as the car's still driving, everything's running smooth, then you enjoy the highly drafted wide receivers. Teteroa McMillan, he works best. Really, every wide receiver works best, but darn sure a rookie that there are things that I think he needs to develop, but he's physically a really interesting piece. He works best when the defense is focused on stopping the run. Right? If you don't have safety help over the top and he can win a one-on-one, or even if he doesn't win the one-on-one and create separation, he can out-jump and out-contested catch one guy, that's huge. So run the ball enough that becomes the focus and safety start creeping into the box and everything else, and then now you get to beat him with your 8th overall pick wide receiver. The edge rushers that we talk about, right? They moved on from Jadeveon Clowney. They bring in Pat Smith out of Minnesota in free agency. Pat Jones? Did I mix it up? Smith Jones. I knew it was one of those generic names.
One of those guys.
I got Pat right.
Nailed it.
And then you bring in Nick Scorton and Princely Umanmielen. Got those right.
You nailed that one.
Second round and third round edge rushers. Their job is easier if the running game does two things. 1, give them a lead. 2, give them a break. Right? Get the lead, score points, run for touchdowns. 2, pick up first downs, keep the chains moving, keep the defense, meaning the Panthers defense, off the field so they can come into the game with a lead and fresh legs, pin their ears back, get after the quarterback. That's the ideal. And by the way, it's not a secret, right? That, like when Dave Canales took over, it was very much him on Front Street. Just, hey, guys, we want to run the ball.
Run the ball, play action.
They went out and spent $150 million on guards, and we're ahead of the trend there because this offseason a bunch more money has been spent on guards, interior offensive linemen across the league. They spent a bunch of money on guards. When Dave Canales took the job, the thing that I noticed the most when he was the offensive coordinator in Tampa Bay, Rachaad White got the ball a bajillion times. He was second in the league in touches to Offensive Player of the Year Christian McCaffrey. Like that was Dave Canales, and he came up under Pete Carroll, right? That's where he really cut his NFL coaching teeth under Pete Carroll in Seattle. Pete Carroll just drafted a running back 6th overall. They run the ball. So the reason why I bring it up today is because it's a day where there's a lot going on. Every 20 minutes, we're learning another game. By the way, Bills at Panthers, Week 8. Talked about it earlier. I already brought it up once. The Monday night game against the Panthers at the Niners will be Week 12 on November 24th. Like, we're learning every couple of minutes another game. There's a lot going on. There's still a couple free agency decisions to make, and I thought it was a good day to go. Despite all of that, and despite all the frenzy, and despite all the new, and despite all of the excitement, you still probably need like 20 carries of Chuba Hubbard and 100-something yards most games if you want to go ahead and win.
I said the stat, I think it was either yesterday or last week. The Panthers' run block win rate was 10th best in the NFL. As an offensive line as a whole, run block win rate 10th best in the NFL. That means they won their matchups one-on-one. The offensive line did. The 10th best out of any offensive line in the league. Yeah, lean on that. Also, look at some of the advanced numbers for Chuba Hubbard this past year. Rushing yards over expected, 2nd best in the NFL, like per attempt.
Good.
Rushing yards over expected, like the percentage, was best in the NFL. So he's actually getting more yards than even as great as the offensive line is blocking, he's still getting more yards expected per carry. So he's even doing more than what he probably should get than an average runner would. So he's doing that work too. Yes, lean on that. Lean on that entirely because it's only going to, like you said, it's only going to help Bryce and it's only going to help these young receivers hopefully get one-on-one matchups. And then hopefully you alleviate some help on the box. Now you can run it even better.
One of my favorite reminders for athletes, sports teams ever is strengthen your strengths. Right? It's easy. I don't want to say easy, but it's obvious to go into an offseason with weaknesses and say, that's where we should put all of our attention. That's where we should put all of our effort. And without acknowledging, like, even the things you did well last year should still be worked on because those can be the difference makers. You know, the way our coach used to say it in college was that can be what we major in, right? Sure, you need your general knowledge classes. You need to go take your geologies and everything, but what's your major? The Panthers will always, under Dave Canales, major in run first. Then play actions and everything build off of it, but run first will be their major. You can go get a minor in, like, you know, deep ball to Teteroa McMillan, but your major is going to be running. It's going to be the rush offense. It's going to be controlling tempo. That's what he believes in. So believe in it. Even when all the crazy's happening, believe in it. I always think it's funny when, like, you know, oh, we're going to air it out. Why? You're good at running the ball last year. Just add like 10% more passing to stay balanced. You don't have to go too crazy. You know, Steph Curry doesn't go, I wasn't great at finishing at the bucket my 3rd year, so I'm going to stop shooting threes. It's like, no, I'm just going to try to drive to the bucket enough and be successful enough to keep them honest so I can keep knocking down threes at an elite level. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the ladder challenge coming up. I'm back. I felt good last night about the ladder challenge. But before I explain all of that, Dennis Cox has something for you.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Lone Pronto. Question for you. Are your monthly bills keeping you up at night? Maybe you're worried about finances in this crazy time? Well, guess what? If you're like most people, you've racked up a sizable amount on your credit cards, and monthly payment is simply not making a dent in it. It's time to give Loan Pronto a call. If you own a home, you have a super easy way to get tens or even hundreds of thousands in cash. Loan Pronto has lots of options for helping you tap into the equity in your home and get the cash you need to get back on solid footing. Most homeowners who do this end up wiping out all their credit card debt and cutting their monthly expenses by $1,000. Look, you didn't mean to end up here, but you don't have to keep stressing about money. Give Loan Pronto a call for fast debt relief now. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Again, the website, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Not only is the ladder challenge coming up, which was a winner, but also Will Wade, new coach of NC State, spoke to the media. We have that audio. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
A record in sports that would be a big deal if it was broken and we'd all be in on it is 100 points in a game in the NBA.
Oh, yeah, big time.
If I told you within the next 20 years in the NBA, somebody would score 101 points in one game.
I could see it. Couldn't you see a team just waving the white flag and another team taking advantage of that?
Unsportsmanlike.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Soundstation and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Soundstation and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Soundstation and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Soundstation and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
First Horizon Stadium in Cary is the place to be galactic. The North Carolina Courage, the Triangle's premier professional women's soccer team, invites you to Star Wars Night, May 17th at 5 p.m. Grab Star Wars Night tickets at tickets.nccourage.com. May the Courage be with you. The North Carolina Courage are back on home turf this weekend at First Horizon Stadium in Cary. The region's Division I professional women's soccer team will face off against the Chicago Stars May 17th at 5 p.m. Get tickets at tickets.nccourage.com before this match sells out.
It's back. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale at the Car Scott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards May 16th through the 18th. And it's bringing the largest inventory and deepest discount of the year. Save thousands off top brands. On-site financing to get you approved and on the water. Boats in stock and priced to move now. Test ride your boat at delivery. Get in a new boat or upgrade in time for summer. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale, May 16th through 18th at the Car Scott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Hi, I'm Marcy Bailey. And at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, we understand your concerns when it comes to buying an engagement ring. Am I paying too much? Am I getting a quality diamond? Will she love the ring? Rest assured, we prioritize your happiness as much as the exquisite diamonds we offer. That's why we provide unparalleled guarantees to give you peace of mind. First of all, we offer an incredible 30-day money-back guarantee. Secondly, with our unique 100-day price protection, we promise you'll get the best price, quality, and value. But if you find a better offer, we'll match it and give you 10% of the difference. But we don't stop there. We also offer an unprecedented lifetime diamond guarantee. It's our way of giving you confidence throughout all of your cherished moments. We've been locally owned since 1948 and voted the best jeweler year after year. At Bailey's, we're not just selling jewelry. We're providing a legacy of trust. We invite you to shop with us and experience the difference.
Is going to your local bar the worst part of your day? The bartender ignores you, mediocre food, warm beer? Then why go there? Take 5 minutes and drop in at Sharky's, where they'll give you a free evaluation and you can learn about all the bars that you shouldn't go to. Sharky's has helped thousands find the right bar to hang at. What are you waiting for? Sharky's evaluation could be the cure to the worst part of your day. Change your bar, change your life. Sharky's, 5800 Durley Road by the Shell Station.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. This song takes you to a specific time and place. Never mind. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You know what? That's good. That's appropriate for the vibes I have in the ladder challenge last night. It had been a while since I had an absolutely no stress, absolutely calm, cool, collected winner, and I got that last night. Nuggets plus 26.5 versus OKC. It was a minus 970 bet. Wasn't trying to retire the parents off of it. Just it was in our minus 500, minus 1,000 window. The Thunder ended up winning by 7, but it was tied with a minute and a half to go. And I only needed the Thunder not to win by 27. So it was just, all right, thank you, Jokic. I have no idea why the Nuggets were 10-point dogs in that game originally, but I teased it an additional 16.5. $10 up to 11.03.
Look at you.
But a win is a win is a win is a win. I saw the free throw go through the hoop. Now floodgates are open. Dennis, how did it go for you?
So I had the Winnipeg Jets and Dallas Stars over 3.5 goals, which I knew was going to happen because the Jets are on the road in that game. I have 4 goals. That's all I needed. Got exactly what I needed. So I was a minus 675, so I'm up to $33.49 now.
All right, you have the lead. Go ahead. What do you got today?
So Edmonton Oilers, Vegas Golden Knights tonight. Edmonton Oilers have scored at least 2 goals in every single game this entire postseason.
Oh,
so
I mean, if you say it and it's like, whoa, and then you go, it's Edmonton, and I go, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hence why I'm going over 1.5 goals tonight for the Edmonton Oilers on the road at the Vegas Golden Knights. Chance to close out the series. It's a minus 615, so my $33.49 will turn into $38.93 by the end of the night.
So they've scored at least 2 in every game, and it's only minus 615.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I guess because it's on the road.
I mean, I assume they've played road games this postseason.
They have.
They're 100% on those as well.
And they've scored at least 2 on those.
All right. Like you, I'm going to try to mimic some success I've had. The Golden State Warriors are 10-point underdogs against Minnesota tonight. I can tease them all the way to plus 27.5. So as long as the Golden State Warriors do not lose by 28 or more against Minnesota tonight, I will, with minus 1,000 odds, get another winner. Minnesota leads the series 3-1, so Golden State backs against the wall. They will be desperate. They will, you'd like to think there won't be any give up because, their season would be over if they do. We also know Jimmy Butler is one of those weirdly wired competitors, has pride. I don't see him shutting down the engines at any point in time. I just don't see them losing by 30, which is pretty much all I need to avoid. So Golden State plus 27.5 will turn my 11.03 into 12.13. It's kind of empowering to be behind by this much because I know that I'm not going to catch you by picking minus 500 bets every time, since that's the biggest payouts in our little window, in our parameter. So instead, I'm just going to try to find the minus 1,000s and just hope to have a little bit more money if you falter. That's all I'm looking for here. So give me minus 1,000. I just need the Warriors to not lose by 28 or more. Sounds ridiculous to say out loud. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have some time here for some very exciting hits and quits. So let's get to a hit it and quit it. We line up the biggest stories in sports. We hit it. We move on. We hit it and quit it, as you might say. Dennis, I'll start with the news that I shared with you during the commercial break. As we keep getting more and more leaks for the NFL schedule, as we keep getting just a morsel of information here and there, we know who the first home game will be for the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, okay.
First home game, week 3, division game. Atlanta Falcons in Charlotte, week 3. So the schedule starts
All right.
with first week on the road at Jacksonville, second week on the road at Arizona, third week, finally, a game at home in Charlotte against the divisional rival, the Falcons, which you pointed out, and I'll say it here, Jalen Walker, James Pierce, the 2 first-round picks of the Falcons, both, first of all, were linked to being drafted by the Panthers a good amount.
Especially Jalen Walker.
Jalen Walker right up until the draft. James Pierce, through I would say the first 8 weeks of the season, he was a name that everybody was dreaming about. They both are from North Carolina. They played Jalen Walker at Georgia, James Pierce at Tennessee, but they'll be coming on back.
And Charlotte area, too. Jalen Walker from Salisbury, just north of Charlotte. James Pierce actually from Charlotte. Went to Chambers High School.
So you just hope that their cheering section isn't too loud. I know they'll be wearing the other team's jersey still. But I mean, that is cool, right? Get your high school buddies out there, you know what I mean? Get your favorite English teacher some tickets. Go watch them live out, have them watch you live out a dream that they helped you go accomplish. We actually talked with Jalen Walker's high school coach on this show, and you could tell just how proud that community is of a player that, I mean, if you listen to the coaching staff, they knew was going to be special pretty darn early. And, they had to wait a few years, but now he's living out his dream. It's pretty darn cool. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
So last night you had a bet placed on the Denver Nuggets.
I did. Plus 26.5.
Okay, obviously they lost last night, but we already have one of our Eastern Conference finalists. The Indiana Pacers took care of the Cleveland Cavaliers last night, winning that series 4-1. Which, I'm not going to lie, I understand that Cleveland, they had some guys that were injured and nicked up going into that series. I wasn't expecting Indiana to win this series 4-1, even with the injuries of Cleveland.
There are a few things in sports just generically that I love. And one of them is when a player is obviously doubted, obviously talked down upon, and responds in a way that is absolutely undeniably like you are wrong. Tyrese Halliburton, who, I mean, he's the best player on the Pacers, right? Was voted in an anonymous, and today's not a good day talking. I tried to say anonymous.
It's the rain, man.
I tried to say anonymous. It almost came out sea anemone. I don't even know. That didn't make any.
Princely umami Ellen.
Yeah. I tried to say anonymous. Instead, I said the third-round pick of the Panthers, Princely Umami Ellen. An anonymous player survey voted, this was a month ago, I don't know, it was weeks ago, voted Tyrese Halliburton the most overrated player in the league.
Yeah, I did see that.
And all he has done since then is make clutch play after clutch play after. We're talking multiple buzzer beaters. We're talking missing a free throw intentionally just to grab his own rebound, to retreat and hit a step-back three to win a game. We're talking taking a team like the Cavs that won a boatload of games, had the superstar in Donovan Mitchell, and dismantled them at times. And I watched a good amount of the Pacers-Cavs series. Just it's been on, right? I'm looking for stuff to watch in between Canes games. They are like two different teams, the Pacers. When Halliburton is the point guard, they are smooth jazz. Just ball movement, just everybody knows where everybody's going to be, and it's really cool. When TJ McConnell comes off the bench and is their point guard, they're like EDM on fast forward. Everybody's just herky jerky and little off rhythm, but moving fast, and it's really funny to watch other teams deal with it because they get like lured into this rhythm, and then McConnell smacks them out of it, and then back to the rhythm. It's a really interesting game. So I just like when, as long as my favorite team or a team we professionally cover is not in the mix, if somebody is voted by their own peers as most overrated, I almost automatically start rooting for them because that's gotta sting.
Oh, for sure.
And he has ended multiple press conferences with like overrate that.
Yeah.
I like that energy. And I also like somebody that gets insulted and doesn't go cry in the corner, instead goes and bows their neck and shows that it's wrong. I like that too. So shout out to the Pacers.
We have a couple more games in the NBA tonight. Like you mentioned, Golden State Warriors taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves can close out that series tonight, get to the Western Conference Finals. But the Knicks taking on the Celtics tonight as well. Jason Tatum with that ruptured Achilles not playing tonight, even though it's at Boston for Game 5. Knicks lead this one 3-1. Maybe the Celtics can squeak out one game tonight. I just don't see the Knicks losing this series, especially with Tatum out.
Tatum and Porzingis hasn't been himself.
Yeah.
They might get the one-game bump.
The one-game push.
When a coach gets fired and a beloved assistant takes over, and the next game everybody plays extra hard, or a quarterback gets hurt, everybody likes to back up, they play extra hard for a game. You might get that, but I think Boston has to do some real introspective thinking. Their salary is bananas over whatever luxury tax apron threshold. They cost a lot of money, and they got new owners. There might be some Jaylen Brown trade offers this offseason. There might be quite a bit of salary cutting. They might stink next year. Jason Tatum, I don't believe will be playing next year at all.
Yeah, I don't see it.
So it might be a really nice, let's reset the salary cap and be ready to compete again when Jason Tatum comes back, which means Porzingis will be gone, Horford will be gone. Like so many of their vets. Could be an interesting offseason for the Celtics. Coming off of winning they won the NBA championship last year. You don't usually rebuild like within 18 months of winning an NBA championship, but they might have to. Shall we quit that?
Yeah.
And let's hit this. PGA Championship starts tomorrow.
If the weather holds up.
That's true. Don't do that. Major Championship Golf. They'll at least be prepared to start tomorrow. It's at Quail Hollow in the state of North Carolina.
That's right.
One of the most legendary courses with a history. And what's cool about that is you know guys that play well there, right? Like Rory loves Quail Hollow. JT has done some really good things at Quail Hollow, meaning Justin Thomas. It should be a really, really fun PGA Championship. We have some audio to play for you. In the first and second round, the PGA, probably more so than most of the other majors, they go made for TV with their pairings. There's no rules about the top amateur needs to be paired with the previous champion. There's none of that. There's no, we got to work in no. They have the number 1, number 2, and number 3 in the official world golf rankings in the same pairing to start things off. It's Rory, it's Xander, it's Scotty. Here's Scotty Scheffler about being paired with the other two.
I mean, I'm playing with two guys that are playing some of the best golf in the world. Xander won 2 majors last year, and Rory already won a Players and the Masters this year, so he's playing some fantastic golf. And it should be a lot of fun. I've seen that pairing before, and we have a good time out there, and it's competitive. And I think when I look back on my career, these will be some of the fondest memories I have, getting to play with some of the best players in the world and compete to try and win tournaments.
Compete to try to win tournaments.
I love how you can hear the rain in the background of that, by the way.
I like this about golf. Rain literally changes strategies. Right, you can attack pins more. How they handle the drying out process will affect strategy. Whether you're in the morning or the afternoon wave affects strategy. If there's any kind of delay that goes on to the next day, the stamina affects strategy. It is a really cool part of golf. And then there's also this other thing, right, which is not that long ago, Rory McIlroy won the Masters, and he became the 6th golfer in history to complete the career Grand Slam. And he needed 11 tries at the Masters to complete the career Grand Slam, talking about winning all 4 majors. And as soon as it happened, he was borderline still on the green, hugging and high-fiving and getting excited about winning the Masters. Did everybody that covers golf go, I think Rory's about to go on an all-time run. Now that he has that metaphorical monkey off of his back, now that he has that pressure lifted, he's about to win 7,000 majors out of the next 8,000 majors. Rory's about to go nuts. Well, he loves Quail Hollow. He's won there 4 times before, different tournaments. And he might be a little freer, a little looser, a little more willing to go after some things. Rory was asked if things are different without the pressure of the major drought and the career Grand Slam. This is what Rory said.
I'm the same person. I
No, I turn up and try to have the same attitude and the same approach to each and every tournament and try to get the best out of myself. And some weeks that results in wins and some weeks it doesn't. And, as long as I approach every week that way, all I can do is go out there and try to play the golf that I know that I'm capable of. And, as I said, some weeks someone just plays better than you, and other weeks, it's your time. So, I've played over 400 events in my career. I've played a lot of major championships, and I know how these things go, and you just got to go out there and play. One of the things that I talk about with Rutel all the time is you just keep playing until you run out of holes, and hopefully by the time you run out of holes, whoever decided that 72 holes was the end of a golf tournament, hopefully your score is better than everyone else's.
Coach speak. Do you know what I love about Rory? By the way, I'm a big Rory fan. Have been for a long time. I wouldn't say he's like number one, but he's like a solid number two. Here's what I love about Rory. During the major drought that he was on, 11 years, whatever it was, he got caught up in a lot of other stuff. Right, he was talking the live stuff, the future, the tour stuff, the purses, the this, the that. He was on commissions. He was talking. He was in a lot of inner circles and a lot of and I do think over the last probably year, he remembered that he just likes playing golf and winning tournaments. And he was, you guys deal with the rest. I make enough money. I'm just going to go win tournaments. And I think that's part of what has kind of unlocked this really good stretch of play. Now you take the major drought off his shoulders. I mean, it's not worth giving out the pick because it's, he's one of the favorites and you're not going to get paid off on it nearly enough as you should picking a major winner. But I mean, you will not see a shocked look on my face if Rory McIlroy wins the PGA by multiple strokes. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
It means more.
So, Bill Belichick, we've talked about him. Not the only coach that's down there at Amelia Island in Florida for ACC meetings. Also down there, Will Wade, new NC State men's basketball coach. Our very own Brian Murphy, WRAL sports investigator reporter, actually spoke, Tim, with Will Wade. Earlier in the week. Actually spoke to him yesterday. We have exclusive audio of that conversation. So again, this is courtesy of WRAL.com and WRAL TV. And Will Wade was asked by Brian Murphy, hey, roster, is it done being put together?
We got to fine-tune some things. We've got to finish up with some of the construction. But we've done a majority of the heavy lifting is done. But there's a couple more pieces that we need to fit into place.
Okay. He's got, like 9 or 10 guys or so far. Got a couple freshmen. I know Paul McNeil's coming back. 6 or 7 transfers. Still got a few roster spots to fill out.
Yeah. Will Wade, part of the reason why I think State fans should be excited for Will Wade leading the program is he is, and I affectionately say this, a basketball psycho.
Yeah.
He is, that roster's never done. I honestly don't believe there is a day on the calendar outside of maybe like his wife and his kids' birthdays where he genuinely isn't putting in work on recruiting, and maybe even on those days where he's not thinking of it. I'm not saying he's reaching out during dead periods. That would be not allowed. But I'm saying he's evaluating players. He's looking at scholarships, projections, and everything else. So, no, they're not done. No, they're not done. Like, of course they're not done. By the way, PJ Haggerty is at the NBA Combine, who is one of the leading scorers in all of NCAA basketball last year at Memphis. He's at the Combine. There's a large group of projections that say once the Combine's over, he's going to withdraw his name from the NBA draft. He's there to learn and to go up against the best. And once he does, State has been linked to him a whole bunch of times. That would be like we've got a few more things to do. Bring in the leading scorer in the entire country. Oh, okay. I just don't think Will Wade's ever gonna. He's like a middle schooler in art class. Like that for an analogy.
Okay.
Do you know what middle schoolers do? They paint a picture. It looks great. Let me do one more thing. Let me do one more until it's it was so good 20 minutes ago. What did I do? Like, he is gonna tinker and he is gonna keep going with the roster. I don't think he's ever gonna be done.
And he also said as well, the players that they add to the roster, the players they have added to the roster, adding them based off what they're capable of doing, maybe not necessarily what they did at their previous school.
We've got some longer athletic guys. We've got some guys who are really good at the point of attack. I do think we've got some guys that have some untapped offensive potential, maybe weren't looking to score as much at some of their previous spots, but if you look at some of the advanced metrics, they're very, very good offensively as well. So we feel like we've got a long, versatile group, and we've got to implement a style of play both offensively and defensively that'll play to our strengths.
The length point, meaning wingspan and everything, has been brought up about the players that Will Wade likes a lot, particularly perimeter defenders, which I think everybody is kind of aware that, longer wingspans and everything, you get your hands on more passes on defense and all of that. But it's almost the ending of Moneyball. I don't know why I'm feeling. I can't speak today. I'm stumbling through everything, but I'm feeling the analogies in a big way.
It's the rain, man.
It is. The rain's doing something. It must be a full moon tonight. I'll blame it on that. Where's Mercury? The ending of Moneyball, right? The whole thing is when Billy Beane, the GM, was at Oakland, he figured something out, right? A better way to evaluate players. And then the Red Sox, with a much bigger payroll, took the principles and theories that were discovered by the A's that made up the ground for them not having a budget. And that's who won all the World Series, right? That's why the Red Sox this century have won a bunch of World Series, is because they took the theories learned at a small, low-budget place and applied them to the big budget where you can go buy the best of everything. I do think when a coach like Will Wade goes from LSU, where you have everything, down to some smaller schools, McNeese State amongst them, and you have to get by with okay, how can I battle with the big dogs? How can I upset power conference teams with the resources I have at McNeese? You get good at it, then you go to a place like NC State that has the bigger budget, and you're like, wait a second, I can go get the best length defenders rather than, all right, as long as you got a wingspan, I'm bringing you on because it's McNeese State and you can't be picky and I don't have the budget and all these other things. You get to kind of throw gasoline on the theory. So I do think he's getting some guys that will make it very, very difficult on opposing teams' guards.
And, well, he says with this roster, or at least what he's put together and maybe hopefully adds, NCAA tournament is the expectation. I expect that we'll be an NCAA tournament team by the time we're all said and done. Are we there as of today? Maybe not. But like I said, we need another piece or two, and I suspect that with that we'll be where we want to be where our fan base wants us to be where our administration wants us to be, and most importantly, be where our coaching staff and players want to be. So we got to finish this off right. But as long as we finish it off right, I think we'll be in good shape.
I respect it. Talk's a big game. I respect it. Talk's a big game. And the reason I respect it is, don't hide from it. If you don't do the things that you're saying you should do or you could do or this roster will do, people will be disappointed, but you get to control that, right? Hasn't played a single basketball game yet, so you haven't, for lack of a better term, done anything. That's good and bad, right? You haven't not lived up to expectations, but you haven't lived up to expectations. All you've done is really raised expectations. That one's going to be a really fun one to watch. I'll tell you that much. What NC State basketball does this year, really fun to watch. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is Hit It and Quit It. We didn't get to it, but I just want to give a shout out to Kamen Rucker. Ravens signed him, edge rusher from UNC. Maybe we'll find another place in the show to talk about that a bit. Right now, I'm going to find a place in the show to talk about Maynard Service Company. Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, all of it. I was over at their facilities, hanging out, talking with their owner, Brett, not long ago. And one of the things that stood out to me, and I brought it up a bunch of times, is their commitment to training their technicians, training the people that will come out and work on your HVAC or your plumbing, electric, whatever it ends up being. They have full air conditioners in their warehouses that they literally go in and break just so their technicians can come in and practice. We're a sports show, right? They scrimmage for fixing your cooling system. How cool is that? No pun intended. And right now, it is a great time to start thinking about cooling maintenance. So have them come out, check out your system, right? Do whatever cleaning or maintenance needs to be done. That way, it doesn't break. You don't have to call them out when it's 102 degrees outside and humid and your air conditioning broke. You don't have to call them up then because you took care of it now. At least that's the idea, right? Get them in there to apply some maintenance, do some checkups, and make it less likely that the real bad stuff happens when it gets really, really hot and you're overworking your system like we all do. The number to call for Mainer Service Company is 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or visit them online, MainerServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. The Canes, they play tomorrow. Game 5 could be an elimination game. It is a possible series ender if they beat the Caps up there in D.C. There's one thing. There's a bunch of things, really. But one thing I'm going to highlight that makes me confident in the Canes. Stick around.
The Carolina RV Super Show is coming to you. Join us at any Camping World in North Carolina or South Carolina, May 15th through the 18th, to shop ridiculous discounts on the best selection of new and used RVs in the Carolinas. Tour new 2025 RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Enter to win a new RV and enjoy family fun and on-site activities. Don't miss the Carolina RV Super Show at your local Camping World, May 15th through the 18th. Get all the details at campingworld.com/Carolina RV Super Show.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-566-1649. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-566-1649. That's 800-566-1649.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Let me just give you a quick story real quick. My wife had contacted another company for windows. I saw the price and I went, let me just make sure that that's in the ballpark. And I texted Patrick. You came out to my house the next day, which was awesome. And we will save tons of money and get more work done. How do you do that?
I mean, we're there to help, so we put together packages that work for our customers. You know, we have high-quality products, and our motto has been quality you can afford for a very long time. So, you know, we do a lot of business. We have a lot of options, and we just have done so much business over the years that we get good pricing from our manufacturers, and we don't try to kill people on pricing. We're here to help. That's what we're here for. That's why we've been around for so long.
And the job can be broken up into 2 or even 3 trips. It is incredible. The Aluminum Company of North Carolina, best customer service in the industry, incredible work, and they stand by it forever. 800-672-4348.
The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Hall reaches for it. He'll get it to Walker. Walker's got Roslovic with him. Walker holds, shoots, and scores! Sean Walker's first postseason goal, and it is a monster!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Canes play tomorrow. Game 5. In D.C., on the road. Canes lead 3-1, which means if they win, you can tell Ovechkin to go play some golf, right? If they win, you're sending the Capitals to their offseason. And because of that, there becomes a even heightened version of what has been, I believe, one of the most impressive things the Canes have done this postseason, which is at every step along the way, they have at least matched, if not exceeded, the desperation of their opponents, especially in situations where they should have been the opposing team should have been more desperate, right? That's essentially what the postseason is all about, right? The closer you get to elimination, the more you scratch and claw, and the Canes have matched or exceeded that in the Devils series and done it again against the Caps. That's, I think, a feather in the cap of the culture, the leadership, everything going on in there. And I think it's one of the, I don't want to say like major differences, but right, I try to catch a pulse of Canes fans. I've had a decent amount of people on social media, in person when we're out there on the plaza, just bumping into people around the games and around the community that have said, like, I don't know, there's just something different about this team. I don't know, there's just something different. And just recently I put out a tweet, and it had all of the players that were on the postseason roster last year that are not on the postseason roster this year. And in name recognition, it's a little jarring, right? Just in like fame and accomplishments, right? It's Gensel, it's Shea, it's Pesci, it's all these guys that were around last year that are not around this year. And I would say the most overwhelming response was like, Eric Tulsky cooked, right? Because he got way younger, he got way cheaper, and they've made it just as far as, if not farther, in the postseason as they did last year. The next one has been I get it. But this year, just something different. There's a different vibe, and I agree. I think there's a different vibe. I think there's a different mindset. I think there's something different, and I've been struggling to put my finger on what it is. I think it might be youthful energy. I think it might just be you got a couple early 20s in replacing of a couple late 20s and early 30s, and you're a different person at those points in your life. You're a different person, and you're more, I don't know, energetic. You're less cynical, especially in the professional sports world, because in the professional sports world, in your 30s, you are old. In your late 30s, you are ancient. Then you retire from sports and you're young again. And it's really it's a strange beast, right? So consider like a 34-year-old as like a bitter old guy, right? Like stay off my lawn. Just that's what it is in sports. You replace him with 21, 22, 24, you're just getting like, I don't know, a little bit more optimism. I don't know if that's it, but I get a feeling that's contributing to it. We have Rod Brindamore, who, by the way, would know a little bit about putting, veterans, him, along with some younger guys to potentially go on a long Stanley Cup run.
Eric Stahl.
There you go. There's,
Cam Ward.
Yep. Bada bing, bada boom. Here is Rod talking about just that with kind of roster construction.
The young guys, I think, are real important to be in the mix in that, because they provide a different type of energy, and sometimes they don't really even know the stakes, right? Like it's they don't realize how hard this is, and so they're just out there and, like I say, providing it's not carefree, but they're almost looser than the other guys, because they all think they got 10 more, 20 more kicks at it, and I think the older guys all know that it's precious time. So I think that there can be a real nice mix there.
Here's the latest test. Right, things are going well. Mindset is good. You don't want to throw off the pH balance in the locker room. 3-1, you're up 3-1. Can't soften you. It can't, because the Caps aren't going to soften. And I think that's been a strength for the Canes. I think that's a strength for the Canes. The best moments of Game 4 were when they answered the Caps. When the Caps were desperate, made a last gasp effort, and scored a goal, and the Canes said, "That's nice. Let me smack it one more time. Let me eliminate the life out of your eyes one more time." I'm going to make 2 Happy Gilmore references in honor of Morris, the 80-year-old alligator that co-starred in Happy Gilmore passing away yesterday. One is Bob Barker versus Happy Gilmore when they fought, right? And Happy kept standing up, and Bob kept going, "Are you done?" Boom. No? Boom. Now you're done. That's what shout out to Bob Barker. That's what the Canes were doing, right? It's like, "Are you done?" Oh, you get a 2-man advantage power play goal from Ovi. All right, cool. Bang. Sean Walker. You done now?
You've had enough?
Yeah, you had enough. That's exactly what the line is.
No, now you've had enough.
That's exactly what the line is. Then, finally, the empty netter from Svetch was like, "Now you've had enough." That's what it was, right? And you just had to keep, no matter how many times Happy stood up, Bob Barker was going to kick his tail. And then second, Happy Gilmore reference. The other favorite part was, are we sure Tom Wilson is good at trash talk? Because does everybody see Tom Wilson do the storm surge?
Yeah, the little skull clap.
He did the thing at the Canes bench as like a taunt, like, "Oh, here's the storm surge."
And then he looked at somebody and like pretended like he twisted the head. I'm like, and point at somebody. I'm like, okay, cool.
First of all, no one on the Canes reacted at all, which was the perfect deal. Just leave him out there doing some kind of YMCA dance all by himself. Like, hey, cool, buddy. But the Happy Gilmore reference is, it struck me as Shooter McGavin saying, "I eat pieces of bleep like you for breakfast." And then Happy looked at him and went, "You eat pieces of bleep for breakfast?" And immediately Shooter was in a pretzel. Right?
No.
Yeah. It was like, wait, you're doing the thing that means the game's over and we won? That's what you're doing, right? That's your trash talk, is you're doing the thing that means, are you throwing in the towel? Like, it's not trash talk to wave a white flag. That's you, like, are you surrendering right now? And then, no.
Yeah, Grizzly Adams had a beard.
Yeah, exactly. It was bad trash talk. But the Canes reacted the right way, right? Instead of stooping to his level and saying something stupid back, instead of, "Oh yeah, well, Capitals, that's not even a mascot." Like, you didn't even go into that. You just let him do it. They were in the right spot. Being in the right spot emotionally is I think one of the most impressive things they've done this year, in addition to spreading out the scoring and Freddie in goal and Slavin. Like, they've done the hockey stuff impressively as well. But from a mindset standpoint, they're just in a good spot. And they need to keep that going into Game 5. Play some quick audio for you from some of the leaders of this one. Seth Jarvis. He knows that Washington will bring their best in tomorrow's game.
I mean, there's still another game. It's still the hardest game to win is the one to close it out. So we know their experience. They've been through a lot of playoffs, a lot of runs, so we're expecting their best next game, but it's a good step in the right direction.
It's a good step in the right direction. What about Sebastian Aho? Sebastian Aho fully expects Washington to be desperate.
Whenever there's a situation your back's against the wall, it's desperation comes out, and I obviously we always expect the other team to bring their best, but that's for sure what's going to happen tomorrow, and we got to be ready and dictate the game.
Match it. Be just as desperate. Match their desperation or exceed it. Go bad cop, bad cop. Go over the top, bad cop.
Carolina, stat for you. Carolina Hurricanes under Rob Brindamore are 9-5 in closeout games.
Nice.
9-5.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it on the road. Canes are good at everything at home. I think it's more fun to close it out on the road, by the way.
Yeah. Hey, we're going home. Y'all stay here.
Yeah. Just you know what, guys? You can go unpack. You can go unpack. You're staying. Or pack up with bathing suits rather than hockey pads because you're going to Cabo. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The starting five is coming up next. We have some updates on the Canes from practice earlier today that is sure to get a few of the fans in a tizzy. Stick around.
Let's go!
It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Aho now to Jarvis. Jarvis, you'll get the Giants goal!
Let's go, Canes!
The Chetkov, stop! It's on the goal line behind him! He does a snow angel in the paint!
Go, Canes!
Playoff hockey in Raleigh is something that you can't describe, and it's because of you. So we wanna be here.
The Canes' road to the Stanley Cup runs through us. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
It's bow time. Yep, it's eating time again. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. But if you're tired of cooking, or tired of sorta cooking, it's time to feed the whole family with Bojangles Fried Chicken Family Meal. With Bojangles' famous chicken, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can forget the cookbook and spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner from Bojangles. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing for some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. Satisfy your craving for flavor and your passion for boneless chicken with Bojangles 4-piece Supremes Dinner. 4 perfectly seasoned, Cajun-fried, whole breast tenderloin fillets. Choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and Bojangles' legendary iced tea. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hear that? That's the sound of digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. With instant wins, progressive jackpots, and bonus games right from your phone. It's nonstop chances to win like you've never seen or heard before.
Oh, yeah! Big money!
Visit nclottery.com to get in on the action. Must be 18 to play. See prize and odds charts at nclottery.com/digital-instants for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543. This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
Get in the hole!
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. We've had an active radar this afternoon. Showers and storms continue into the early evening hours. Partly cloudy overnight, some fog. 64 the low. Partly cloudy skies. Still can't rule out a shower or storm tomorrow. The high at 89.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell down 89 points to 42,051. Market update brought to you by the Body Armor State Games. The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Haven't done this in a while. Personal favor, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. Search for it. We have live streams of both this show, the Adam Gold Show, every single day. We have podcasts that get posted constantly. We have clips and interactions and conversations in the comments and everything else. We grab conversations from the comments all the time, bring them on air. So if you have a point to make, the comment section on our YouTube is a great spot to make it, and you might just hear your point being made on air and attributed to you, like we read them and say so-and-so said. So 99.9 The Fan, search for it on YouTube, subscribe, and then tell your friends, right? Each one, teach one. Reach back, bring somebody else along. Thank you. Now let's get into the starting five, starting with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let's do that hockey.
Earlier today, before traveling to D.C. for tomorrow night's game, the Canes practiced, except for Jalen Chatfield. Jalen Chatfield did not practice today, tweaked something late in the game in Game 4, and that meant...
Been dealing with something already.
And we've talked about some unusual patterns in his ice time and everything, like you notice. But this was the first time he hadn't been on the ice for a non-optional, for a traditional practice. Which meant Alexander Nikishin skated with Dmitry Orlov as one of the defensive pairings in practice today. And that right there is going to raise some hype. Actually, I don't even know if it could be raised. The Alexander Nikishin hype might be maxed out. But he is, for those of you that don't know, Alexander Nikishin, a draft pick from some years ago that has been playing in the KHL over there in Russia, and has been, I would say, probably at least as long as I've been hosting this show, which are going 2 years. He has been considered the best defenseman not in the NHL, or not in the NHL already. And the hype continues to build. He's 6'4", he's 215. He has certain skill sets. He can score. He can produce points. He can do everything. And because of that, when he became available after the KHL season ended, the Canes worked, I would say, diligently with his KHL team, with his agents, with immigration to get him over to America. He's now here. He's been in the facility and skating and practices and things for better part of a month, but he hasn't been in a game yet. Skated in warm-ups yesterday, or 2 days ago now, Game 4, and skated in practice today in relief of Jalen Chatfield, which made everybody go, is this the game? Is tomorrow? Is a 3-1 lead enough? Is this the game? Rod Brindamore said today that Jalen Chatfield is expected to play tomorrow. So that is the expectation at the moment, is that the same 6 defensemen that have been there for the majority of the games will be out there skating. But I think the bit of information we can take away from this is, if there is a need for a defenseman, if somebody does get hurt to a point where they can't play, and it's not just let's give them a couple days off and they'll be good to go, it's Nikishin's role. He's the stay ready, you're one play away guy. He's that for the Carolina Hurricanes. And if you're looking at the playoff bracket, they're up 3-1. They're the overwhelming favorite to, obviously with a 3-1 lead, to beat the Caps and advance to the Eastern Conference Finals, where you're looking at between 4 and 7 more games in that series. If they are fortunate enough and play well enough to advance to the Stanley Cup Finals, you're looking at another 4 to 7 games there. Playoff hockey is physical. There's a pretty good chance that Nikishin might get the call if a defenseman can't go, and that is part of the dream. Not that somebody gets hurt, but the dream is that somebody might get hurt and you go to a player like Nikishin to bring him in. That's depth, that's organizational depth, that's talent identification, that's everything else that you need in order to set yourself up to where an injury isn't catastrophic. Because there are a lot of teams out there. One of your top 4 defensemen, right? One of your kind of depended upon, played huge ice time all year defenseman gets hurt. I mean, you just sound sirens and panic. That's what you do. You bring up an AHL guy and you hope for the best. The Canes, meanwhile, go, well, all right, if so-and-so gets hurt, we'll bring in the 6'4", 215-pound super talented guy that we've just been revving the engine in the practice gym. It's a good spot to be. It's a good spot to be. By the way, shout out to the member of my nobody cares about your fantasy team. Shout out to the member of my fantasy team who just literally responded to what we're saying organizational depth with an exclamation point, something your team doesn't have. That's good trash talk. Tom Wilson could learn something there. That's good trash talk. Tom Wilson could learn something there. That's number 5. Let's head to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
7 to shoot. His team is down by 3. Pirouettes, tosses it up. Oh! Joker's wild! We are tied at 103.
Do you know why it's good trash talk? Because it's a little true. That's the stuff that stings. Let's talk NBA. Trash talk that matters. How about this one from the Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton? Overrate that. That's trash talk that matters. Tyrese Halliburton was voted in an anonymous player poll about a month ago, maybe a little bit more. The most overrated player in the league. He's a player with a third-team All-NBA, a couple All-Stars. Like he's max contract, right? And they called him the most overrated player in the league. All he did then was lead Indiana to a first-round playoff victory, and then they faced the Cleveland Cavaliers, who I believe they were the 1 seed in the East, and they beat the Cavaliers 4-1. Now, you could say it's because Garland was hurt. Garland did play in some of the games. I know Cleveland was banged up, but Donovan Mitchell had a few huge highlight performances, and Tyrese Halliburton said, that's cool. 4-1. Overrate that. I like that kind of trash talk. Do you know who's probably really good at handling trash talk? Nikola Jokic. He just seems like he'd go, so? You could say like the most mean and personal things to him, and he'd go, basketball. Not just because, it's a second language. I think that's just kind of his vibe. You're not going to get him out of his game. They did lose last night. OKC won 112-105, but it's still 3-2. OKC, another juggernaut. They're a team that was really, really good in the regular season and in the first round. Denver, a team that fired their coach with 4 games left in the regular season, has them going to Game 6. It's pretty good. Tonight in the NBA, there's New York at Boston. Duke fans who are still fans of Jason Tatum, you know what the story is for Boston, right? They've collapsed a few times. They trail in the series 3-1, and most recently, Jason Tatum in the final kind of couple of minutes trying to claw back from another collapse, ruptured his Achilles. You want to talk about life coming at you fast in the NBA. You go back just like a week and a half ago. The Celtics were one of the betting favorites to win this year, the reigning NBA champions. Fast forward a week and a half, they're on the doorstep of getting knocked out by the Knicks, which stings a little bit more if you're Boston, right? Knicks, Boston, they got one of those things. And your best player is hurt and probably not even playing next year. Life comes at you fast in the NBA. Golden State, another example. Golden State tonight at Minnesota. They're one of the stories of the first round, right? Steph's not as good as he once was, but he's still good enough to send you home. He tweaks a hammy, and all of a sudden you're down 3 to Minnesota. Life comes at you fast in the NBA. That game tonight, Golden State backs against the wall, 10-point underdogs. 10.5-point underdogs, actually. Minnesota trying to end the series, and Anthony Edwards. If you look at what Anthony Edwards and Minnesota have done the last 3 seasons, they've eliminated LeBron. They've eliminated Kevin Durant. They've eliminated potentially now Steph Curry. They metaphorically have some nice pelts on the wall. They're scalps, whatever you want to call them. Like, the people they've beaten in battle are impressive historically. I don't know why I had to go such a weird way saying that. They've beaten some very, very good players, future Hall of Famers, and Steph Curry would be another nice one to put on that list, even though the injury probably had a lot to do with it. I guess Draymond Green would be another one, and Jimmy Butler are another one to put on the wall. That's NBA news, and it was number 4. Let's get to number 3.
Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so.
Shoeless Joe Jackson and Pete Rose and everyone else on the Major League Baseball banned list that has passed away already, that are already deceased, have been removed from the MLB's ban list. Basically, Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball and the league, have decided that a lifetime ban expires at the end of your life. So those bans are now lifted. Yesterday, we talked a little bit about this. The news broke during the show. But what I failed to do is you could comment on this on the YouTube live stream. You could send it to me on Twitter at Donnelly Sports if you want. But Dennis, I'm just going to ask you, would you vote them in?
It's a good question.
We talked a lot about if they will get in and will the voters put them in, but I don't think we made it personal enough. Would you? You're a voter. You get to decide. Is Pete Rose and is Shoeless Joe Jackson a Hall of Famer?
I think Rose gets in.
Are you voting him in?
I probably would, because I'm voting him in based off what he did as a player. Because all the allegation stuff was because of what he did as a manager.
Yep.
I will put him in. Now, the Shoeless Joe Jackson stuff, the reason why I will probably say no is that because he was directly linked to actually fixing games he actually played in. That's the thing. So I would say Pete Rose, because just look what he did as a player. So yes.
I think my opinion is an unpopular one. I don't want either of them in. And
that's fair.
I don't
That's
want,
fair.
And I don't want the steroid users in. And I think you've had your benefit, right? Like it's not like keeping you out of the Hall of Fame, removes the memories of you playing. Like you already get a ton of positive out of your career. I think the Hall of Fame should be a place where if you have been linked and or proved to the C word, cheating, you don't get in. And by the way, like for everybody that says you can't tell the story of baseball without these guys, sure, put the story in. Like when you go, like the Hall of Fame, all of the Hall of Fames, the actual physical Hall of Fames are museums. That's what they are, right? You can not have the players bust, not have the plaque that says they are a Hall of Famer, while also having I think Major League Baseball should have an exhibit out constantly titled The Steroid Era. And you walk through it, and you see things about Sosa versus McGuire, and you see things about the congressional hearings, and you learn the story of baseball while also acknowledging, I don't want Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds, by the way, do you know who has the most gold gloves of any left fielder ever? Barry Bonds. He's not just the hitter. I almost think that makes it worse. If you're a Hall of Famer, and I've had this discussion many times. Barry Bonds, Alex Rodriguez, those guys upset me the most that they use steroids because they didn't need to. They were Hall of Famers, inner circle guys without it, right? If you look at just Barry Bonds on the Pirates when he weighed 180 pounds, he's a Hall of Famer. You didn't need the rest of it. I don't agree with it, and I will not condone it, and I will still talk down upon it. But if you've been in AAA for 8 years, making nothing, and just on buses, and you juiced up to get to the majors to get that one contract that relieves your family of financial burden for life, I don't agree with it, but I see the logic. I still will talk down upon you and say you're a cheater, but I at least see the logic. I don't see the logic for Alex Rodriguez. You were the best hitting catcher in history and you still needed something more? No. Those guys, the Hall of Famers that juice to me are worse because they definitely would have been in the bigs without it. So no, I don't want them in. But I think they will. I think both of them will. Because Major League Baseball, with this ruling, has said you're allowed to vote for him. And I think voters were kind of waiting for that permission. That's number 3. Let's hit number 2.
Just the two of us.
So by my count, tonight is the NFL schedule release. At 8 o'clock, schedules will be released officially by the league. I'm looking at the update here. Nerding on NFL it's a Twitter account that brings together all of the reports and leaks from all across the NFL on the schedules as they come out. So I won't have every insider that had it first. I know that accreditation is very important, but it's just not in front of me, and I haven't been able to source it. we only need 3 games from the Panthers. We have everything except for game 15 or week 15, 16, and 17. So I'll read it, and we'll give our very quick, maybe 1 sentence or less reactions kind of to each game. Week 1, the Panthers start at Jacksonville. My 1 sentence or less is there's a lot of storylines in this one. It is Tet McMillan against Travis Hunter, the 2 highest drafted wide receivers. It's 2 guys that were offensive coordinator for the Bucs within the last 3 seasons. It is an opportunity for the Panthers to get a win to start the season. I don't think Jacksonville is unbeatable. It is Travis Etienne, the running back for the Jags, against Trevor Etienne, the 4th-round pick, running back for the Panthers. There's a lot of storylines here, and 2 teams that I think both are probably penciling this one as a win. At Arizona, week 2. I think we know what Arizona is at this point, the Kyler Murray era. But I would be a little upset if I were the Panthers for starting 2 games on the road. I'm actually going to look around the NFL. No. The Bucs are starting with 2 games on the road. No. I think those are the only 2 teams. Bucs and Panthers. Of the teams that we know, Bucs and Panthers of, I don't know, like 4/5 of the league, we know their first 2 games. Those are the only 2 starting road game. A little disrespect. I'll run through the rest quickly. Carolina will play Atlanta, home opener, week 3. That'll be a Sunday game. At New England, week 4. Home against Miami in week 5. Home against Dallas in week 6. So that's looking like the 10-12 as the date. At the Jets the next week, week 7. Home versus Buffalo. I mean, you see where the weeks where you're going to have to keep the opposing team's fans out of Bank of America Stadium are right there. Week 6 when the Cowboys come to town, and week 8 when Buffalo comes to town. Get your tickets now to box them out. At Green Bay, week 9, versus New Orleans at home, week 10. At Atlanta, that would be week 11. At San Francisco, that's a Monday night game. At San Francisco, week 12. Been a while. When's the last time the Panthers were on Monday night? Feels like a while, right? Am I missing one?
It was 2 years ago. They played like the second game of the year because I think it was like the second. Yes, I'm sorry, week 2 of the year. They had one of the 2 Monday nights.
Oh, it was a double. I don't count that.
They had a doubleheader.
That's why I didn't remember it, because that felt like a Sunday. I had to flip back and forth. Rams week 13 at home. Bye week, 3 weeks where we don't know, and they finish at Tampa Bay. Dennis, any on the surface reactions to all but 3 games being known for the Panthers? Any games stand out? Anything you want to make note of?
Well, I think the games that still need to be scheduled or announced are they still got to have their home game against Tampa Bay.
Yep.
They still have their road game at New Orleans and a home game against Seattle. But by all accounts, if this schedule is correct that we're seeing, it's a late bye week, week 14.
Late bye week,
Real
week
late
14.
bye week.
And 3 of the last 4 weeks, based on what you just said, and I confirm.
Divisional.
3 of the last 4 weeks will be divisional. And you're like that Tampa Bay twice in the last 4 weeks. I think that right there could decide a lot for the division.
Yes, and very much. Yeah, 3. There's a lot that goes on. Also, it's the return of Sam Darnold. Seattle coming to Carolina. The return of Sam Darnold.
Look at that. Who's Darnold's backup out there? Oh, they have Drew Lock again, right?
I think Drew Lock.
I'm just thinking of, Sam Darnold. We've seen him start a lot of seasons. Haven't seen him playing in week like 17 that often. But yes, you're right. That would be the NFL is just that way. Free agency. Everybody's got some kind of story against everybody. All right, what number was that? That was number 4. Let's get to number 1.
Go on! Let's do that hockey.
Canes. Caps. Game 5. Tomorrow, right here on 99.9 The Fan. It's almost time to start ramping up the heart rate, getting everybody pumped up for a potential closeout game.
I know. It's like, can we get there?
Can
we get there already?
I liked so much, like the 1-game layoffs in between series games. Getting the extra game just feels forever.
So I want to get there so we can go ahead and get it over with.
No, once you start, you want to enjoy it.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking like the series.
Oh,
let's get there so we can finish this thing.
And actually, speaking of, the the Canes, it's the whole rest versus rust thing. I think the Canes are a team that have proven they can be trusted with a couple extra days off. Meaning you want to end this series even if the other side, Toronto and Florida, end up going 7 and you get a couple days off because of we've seen them ramp down at the end of the regular season, rest starters, and then play great in game 1 against the Devils. We saw them have the long break that seemingly kept getting longer between round 1 and round 2, right? It ended up being a full week for the Canes. And then they played well and won on the road in game 1. They've, I use the term flip the switch. They've proven to be a team that is pretty darn good at flipping the switch. So I think rest, getting guys like Chatfield healthy who tweaked something, and I'm sure other guys have things they're dealing with just from playoff hockey. Ending the game or the series, obviously the game, but ending the series tomorrow, I think is a point of emphasis for the Canes for a bunch of reasons. Now, that doesn't mean I will hit the panic button if they don't. It just means I think it would greatly increase their preparedness for the Eastern Conference Finals if they do. And to do that, to end the series tomorrow, there's plenty of time tomorrow where we'll talk maybe matchups and everything else and what the adjustments to caps might be. I think, from a 10,000 feet in the air bird's eye view, you got to continue matching the desperation of the Caps, right? We'll play the Jarvis clip here. Seth Jarvis knows, as a player on the Canes that has been through, despite his young age, some battles in the postseason. Seth Jarvis knows they're going to get Washington's best tomorrow.
I mean, there's still another game. It's still the hardest game to win is the one to close it out. So we know they're experienced. They've been through a lot of playoffs, a lot of runs. So we're expecting their best next game. But it's a good step in the right direction.
Yeah, you're expecting their best. So you have to match it. You have to match it. Rod Brindamore, the coach, brings a more coaching spin to it, which is you have a chance to close the series, but you got to do what you do. You got to stick to being you.
That's the trick. I mean, it's not even the trick. It's what we've been doing every day that we've been here, is focusing on what's right in front of us and trying to win that day, win that game. So that's what we have. That's the task tomorrow.
So here's the funny part. Sports are inherently like they don't make sense all the time. Both are true for the Canes. Going into this next game, you have to treat it like any other game. You have to keep doing the same things you've been doing. You don't want to change anything. You want to be you. And also, you have to ramp up the intensity. You have to match what the Caps are doing. You have to bring extra desperation, which are inherently two different things, but for some reason it makes sense in sports. You have to just more emphatically be you. The same you that you've been, only with emphasis. And it's, it's part of being in the postseason is walking that line. The other thing that I don't know, we had this conversation around the cubicle, so I'll bring it up here quickly. The Canes have had 12 goals scored in the series, 10 goal scorers, right? And the only one to score multiple goals with a goalie in the net in this series is Shane Gostisbehere. Who would have guessed that? All right, because Fetch has multiple goals, but one of them being an empty netter. There's a saying that in the postseason, right, you need the superstars, right? You need somebody that can take over a game. Canes really haven't had many of those performances, especially in this series. First series, you got a hat trick from Svetch. Freddie Anderson, you can make the argument. I'm just wondering, and it was brought up kind of, like I said, around the cubicles on, do you want to have a game that you can kind of just hang the hat on like Jarvis or hang the hat on Aho and say, hey, you won this one for us. Is there that out there? I don't know, right? Because I always go cross-sport with the analogies. You could be the 0-4 Pistons, right? You could just be a team where everybody plays well and everybody's a star in their role, but nobody is Kobe. Or you could lean the other way. So it's an interesting thing going into a Game 5 where in closeout games a lot of times you do need that star to kind of put them out of their misery once and for all. Interesting thing to watch. Interesting thing to pay attention to. And we will pay attention to it all the way up through tomorrow's show and all the way up till we get ready for the game. We greatly appreciate that, so stick around. Right now, Tim Donnelly here to talk about Miller Lending. Tim Donnelly for Miller Lending, I should say. Gordon Miller and Miller Lending are the home of the no-cost loan. And one thing that we all kind of think is true, but a lot of times it's not, is you can't always choose your timing, right? You always, well, when we buy a house, we're going to make sure the rates are in a dip, and then life happens, and you get a new job, and you need to move quick, and hey, I put in my 2 weeks, I need to be starting my new job 2 weeks in a day, I need a place to stay. Oh, all right, well, you're in the market for a mortgage and pretty darn quick, and what the rates are, you can't necessarily just wait around and go, well, they're going to be lower after the fall. I can't wait till the fall, right? Timing isn't always at your choice. So one of the ways you can set yourself up for success is getting a no closing cost loan. That way, you sign up for a no closing cost loan, you get locked in with Miller Lending. Your monthly payment is what it is based on rates today. And they shop around, right? 30 different lenders. They find the best rate for you that they can. But you lock in your monthly payment. Maybe it's a little higher than you want. But guess what? You don't have a choice because you had to move. Well, then when rates come down after the fall or whenever you expected that they would, refinance, no cost, no fees, no money out of your pocket. Now you do get that lower rate that you wanted to wait for. But you had a place to live for the last however many months. You kind of get the best of both worlds with a no closing cost loan. No closing cost means no closing costs. Gordon's been doing it since 1987. No third-party fees, no baked-in costs. It is all a no closing cost loan. Give them a call and they can talk you through it. 919-447-3377. And pass that number along to your friend who's moving to the area, right? Everybody's moving to the area. We know how that goes. 919-447-3377 is the number to call, or visit them online, millerlending.com. Once again, that's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is the equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. We need numbers contestants, don't we? We have Keith Urban tickets to give away, don't we? Keith Urban, Chase Matthew, Alana Springsteen, all at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on May 31st. If you want the tickets, you have to win the numbers game. If you want to win the numbers game, you have to call in now. We need 2 contestants, 919-860-5326. Once again, that number, 919-860-5326 for the numbers game coming up next.
Move your sports day forward.
From the faux storm surge to the snatching of Sebastian Aho's mouthpiece, the Tom Wilson antics are just getting tired. Here's the best news, Canes fans. If we get our wish, we won't have to look at that loser much longer. To be honest, though, I wouldn't mind Jordan Martinook hitting him one more time.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
When it comes to restoring cars, Diego's got skills. And with Total Wireless in his corner, the whole world sees them. With the dual camera system on his new iPhone 13, he can take amazing car photos and post them on the fly with super fast 5G, and even turn this hobby into a full-time gig. His claim to fame? Claiming iPhone 13 with 5G on us. Get iPhone 13 with 5G on us when you switch to the Total 5G or 5G Plus Unlimited 3-month plan. Total Wireless, in your corner. For limited time while supplies last. Valid in store. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires port in and ID verification. Restrictions apply.
It's back. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale at the Carscott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards May 16th through the 18th. And it's bringing the largest inventory and deepest discount of the year. Save thousands off top brands. On-site financing to get you approved and on the water. Boats in stock and priced to move now. Test ride your boat at delivery. Get in a new boat or upgrade in time for summer. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale, May 16th through 18th at the Carscott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards.
This is what WRAL weather coverage sounds like.
Thunderstorm warning right now in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
When your safety is a priority.
An indication that there is a tornado on the ground, so get in your safe spot
in this area. Get in your safe spot right now.
With the tools that make a difference.
WRAL Storm Tracker is inside the storm.
WRAL has the only dual Doppler radar in Wade County.
Hear it and see it every day.
It looks like the storm is doing exactly what we predicted to do.
That's WRAL News. Weather coverage you can count on.
Hey, it's Paul Ihander for FanDuel. The semifinals are here, folks, and that means all the show-stopping action is turning up a notch. Don't miss your chance to bet on all the legendary moments with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel is the best place to find all your favorite player props, and now you can make the smarter play with new performance trends. Want to see if a guy's hitting the over consistently? Maybe they've been flirting with a potential triple-double. Get the latest stats right inside the app and see who's heating up. And once the game starts, that's when things get interesting. You can combine live prop bets into a same-game parlay for a chance to win big. And if you don't already have FanDuel, it's not too late to get in on the action. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/Paul and join today. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
This is not Led Zeppelin. This is Get the Let Out. Get the Let Out.
A celebration of the Mighty Zepp.
Recreating the Mighty Zepp's iconic studio recordings just the way you remember them.
Get the Let Out returns to DPAC this Saturday night. Tickets going fast at dpacnc.com.
Get the Let Out.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. And my computer is slowly loading the contestants here.
We have Dave in Fuquay Arena, and we have Tyler in Raleigh.
Dave and Tyler. That's what I heard. There we go. Dave in Fuquay Arena and Tyler in Raleigh. Thank you for passing that along, Dennis.
Absolutely.
However, we would have been in trouble if the computer didn't figure it out because I wouldn't have been able to see the lists either. So, now that we're good to go, Dave in Fuquay Arena and Tyler in Raleigh will be competing for some Keith Urban tickets. Whoever wins gets the tickets. And as always, we have to start by asking a question. And I think we have a good one here. I'll ask both players the same question. Dennis will hear the answers, pick his favorite. That person will get to go first. Dave in Fuquay Arena, are you ready to roll?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we talked about earlier today that Tom Wilson had some, I think, cringeworthy trash talk against the Canes. And we gave some advice on maybe better trash talk or examples of bad trash talk. So in the history of sports, who is the best trash talker in the history of any sport? Are you thinking, Dave?
Yeah. Reggie Miller.
Okay, Reggie Miller. Notorious for the choking sign to Spike Lee. There's some good stuff there. Dave in Fuquay Arena locks in Reggie Miller. Tyler in Raleigh, you are up next. Are you ready to answer?
Yeah.
All right, same question to you in honor of some bad trash talking that we've seen. Who is the best trash talker in the history of sports?
I'm going to say Steven Jackson.
That's a different going into the stands. It's a different beast. Trash talk, that's a funny one. Teammates, by the way.
Yeah.
They were both there at the Malice in the Palace, right?
I think so, yeah. But I know they definitely played for the Pacers.
Yeah, you're darn right they did. So, Dennis, you are the judge. Who is the better trash talker, Reggie Miller or Steven Jackson?
Both great levels of trash talkers there. Ooh.
And was there an answer that you were thinking you were waiting for?
There was definitely a couple that popped into my head. I always thought that Kobe Bryant was a great trash talker.
Yep.
He really was. Michael Jordan was a trash talker.
Absolutely.
For sure. Shaq would talk. Steve Smith.
Steve Smith was a good one.
Was like notorious as a trash talker.
Ocho Cinco, pretty good.
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett, pretty good.
I might have to lean towards Reggie Miller on this one.
I mean, it's probably more iconic, like moments of trash talk.
Yeah. I mean, though Steven Jackson literally backed up his trash talk.
He's not talk. He's not just,
no, he's not just talk.
Trash walk the walk.
That's exactly.
Dave and Fuquay gets to go first, but Tyler and Raleigh, don't worry, you will have your chance. Dave, are you ready to pick a category?
Yep.
All right, the categories are NFL, Doug's in there somewhere. They got Doug in their name. First name, last name, somewhere there's a Doug. NFL 2005 NFL draft picks. NBA, Kevin Durant's teammates at some time or another. Or NHL, Hurricanes only.
Let's go with NFL Doug's.
Okay, NFL Doug's in there somewhere. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Doug Williams, Washington Redskins.
17.
Correct. Doug Baldwin, Seattle Seahawks.
84.
Incorrect. Doug Martin, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
21.
Incorrect. Doug Baldwin, Seattle Seahawks.
89.
Correct. Demario Douglas, New England Patriots.
18.
Incorrect. Doug Martin, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
32.
Incorrect. Demario Douglas, New England Patriots.
22.
Incorrect. You did get two right. You got Doug Williams. You got Doug Baldwin. For those of you playing at home, we would have accepted 15 or 89 for Doug Baldwin. Doug Martin, second time he's been on here in the last couple of weeks, a.k.a. the Muscle Hamster. 22 is the number we were looking for there. Demario Douglas, a.k.a. Pop Douglas, number 3 or number 81. He's worn both with the Patriots. But you did get two, so congratulations on that. Stay on the line. We'll see if it holds up. I don't know why I congratulated him on 2 there. I get positive vibes.
Hey, you didn't get 0.
Yeah, there you go. Congratulations on something. Tyler and Raleigh, you're up next. Are you ready to pick a category?
Yes, sir.
All right, the categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL players that were drafted in 2005, NBA players that at one point in time were Kevin Durant's teammates, or NHL Hurricanes only.
Let's go Kevin Durant.
All right, all of these players at some point or another shared a roster with Kevin Durant. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You need at least 3 for the win. Any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. James Harden, Oklahoma City Thunder.
15.
Incorrect. Andre Iguodala, Golden State Warriors.
23.
Incorrect. James Harden, Oklahoma City Thunder.
10.
What was that?
10.
Incorrect. Andre Iguodala, Golden State Warriors.
33.
Incorrect. James Harden, Oklahoma City Thunder.
9.
You know what's funny? You came up with 9. We didn't need 9 for James Harden.
Iguodala.
We needed 9 for Iguodala. So subconsciously your brain was going like...
It was somewhere, man.
Come on, man. It's 9.
I know.
So you finished with a 0. James Harden, we were looking for 13 for those of you playing at home, but that's a 0. So unfortunately, not enough for the win. Hope you had fun.
Thank you.
All right. So that's why I congratulated Dave and Fuquay for not getting a shutout. Dave, congratulations. You get the Keith Urban tickets.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Along with Chase Matthew and Alana Springsteen coming to Coastal Credit Union Music Park on May 31st. Go ahead and stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info. He needs to hear from you.
Okay. Hopefully his wife shows up.
Oh, Keith Urban, you're a big Nicole Kidman fan?
Yeah.
All right. I bet as far as like being
Someone watched Batman.
I was going to say, as far as someone being on the spot there, I'm pretty, the timer wasn't clicking, but I just got Keith Urban's wife, nailed it, knew it really quick there. Nicole Kidman, solid one. There's a funny story from The Tonight Show where Jimmy Fallon didn't realize that Nicole Kidman thought they were going on a date 20, 25 years ago. She showed up thinking it was a date, and he thought they were just like hanging out in a group and started playing video games and stuff. Anyway, it's a funny story. You can find it on YouTube. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. For those of you just tuning in, we have learned quite a bit about the Panthers' schedule. They start on the road at Jacksonville, week 2 on the road at Arizona, verse at home Atlanta, week 3, and the first month rounds out with a road trip to New England. The official release will be tonight at 8, but that's just kind of a teaser for the Panthers. We will be coming back to talk a bit about the NBA and Cooper Flagg and where he's going now that the NBA hysteria, is that a proper word around the lottery?
Sure, we'll go with
There was
that.
some hysteria around the NBA lottery that's kind of
Always is.
subdued. Now Cooper Flagg to Dallas is becoming real. We'll talk expectations in a second, but first, Dennis Cox has some info for you.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here with my friends over at Law Tigers. You know, one thing that I always love about going to games is being part of that community, being part of that live crowd. And you always have something shared in common when you were going to a sporting event. You know, you either enjoy the sport, you're rooting for the same team, and as a motorcycle rider, I'm part of that community as well. And that's actually something that I really do appreciate, especially when it comes to Law Tigers, because I know if I'm injured in a motorcycle accident, I can pick up the phone, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, and the person that's going to represent me is someone in my motorcycle riding community. And that's something that is very valuable to motorcycle riders because Law Tigers, they know what your bike is worth. They know what your gear is worth. They understand what you're going through after an accident. That's why your case evaluation with Law Tigers is always free. That's why they do not get paid a dime until your case settles. So call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS even before you contact your insurance company if you're injured in a motorcycle accident. Again, the phone number, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or you can always visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will continue with Cooper Flagg expectations in the Lone Star State. Stick around.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like fences. A house with a big yard and a white picket fence was always the dream. But then you saw the price to install a fence and you're wondering if the color is driving the price up. Nobody ever dreams of a beige or a gray picket fence, right? So maybe those fences are cheaper. But no, they're not. Then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds and make all your dreams of a fence come true. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
The Carolina RV Super Show is coming to you. Join us at any Camping World in North Carolina or South Carolina, May 15th through the 18th, to shop ridiculous discounts on the best selection of new and used RVs in the Carolinas. Tour new 2025 RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Enter to win a new RV and enjoy family fun and on-site activities. Don't miss the Carolina RV Super Show at your local Camping World, May 15th through the 18th. Get all the details at campingworld.com/Carolina RV Super Show.
Down on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166171 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey girl, haven't seen you downtown lately. Nope, sticking to our go-to places. You mean like Sharky's.
Well, we love our Sharkies. Best wings and gumbo on the planet. But we never miss the $5 sangrias on Wednesdays at the new Salt and Lime and Mexican pints on Thursdays for $3.
You know my boy loves the House of Hops. No better selection of craft beer in the state. Loves their specials, their food trucks, and you know I love my wine. They have a wonderful selection.
And have I told you about our new takeout spot, Che Empanadas? It's right next to Sharky's. They have 20 different types of authentic Argentinian empanadas, and they are incredible, especially the breakfast ones. You gotta try it.
Sounds perfect. And how awesome is it that they're so close to each other?
Yes!
Give them a try. Che Empanadas, House of Hops, Salt and Lime, and Sharky's. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from each other off Durham Road, Glenwood, and Grove Barton.
The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Ola Joseph lobs it back up top, stolen by Cooper. A race to the other end, get ready for the show! A reverse pull-up! My goodness! And the lead grows to 26, and Cal wants a timeout.
Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So the NBA draft lottery took place, and a team with a 1.8% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick walked away with the number 1 overall pick. Talking Dallas Mavericks. The 3 teams that had the best chance of getting the number 1 overall pick, none of them even ended up with top 3 picks. It was a chaotic night with a lot of reaction, and because of that, there was probably 24 hours of talk that, if you're an NBA fan, that was exclusively about the lottery. And then things calmed down a little bit, and you started like really looking at how things settled, and you went, Cooper Flagg in Dallas. Interesting. And by the way, seems like the same thing happened for both Dallas and Cooper Flagg. There's a report from ESPN. I'll read it from Tim McMahon, the ESPN NBA reporter. After making the biggest leap in NBA draft lottery history to land the number 1 overall pick, the Mavericks plan to select Duke forward Cooper Flagg and will not entertain the possibility of trading away the pick for a proven superstar, sources told ESPN. Which, like, I genuinely think there was probably like a dazed and confused period for them where they didn't know what they were going to do with the number 1 overall pick because they didn't spend much time planning for it because they only had a 1.8% chance of getting it, and that's bad use of resources. So once they got it, they had to decide. They've made their decision. Jonathan Givony, ESPN NBA draft insider, had the other side of the equation because, the other thing that went viral was Cooper Flagg looked like, when Dallas got the pick. Though Flagg initially looked shocked by the results of Monday's draft lottery, sources told ESPN, that his camp realized how fortunate he is to land in Dallas. Flagg is said to be thrilled by the idea of joining a playoff-caliber roster with strong veterans and a team that has a void at the small forward position. So it seems like both sides had the same reaction we did, which was for like 24 hours, whoa, what? How? Ooh, didn't see this coming. And then they went, oh, all right, Cooper Flagg to Dallas. Makes sense.
Yeah. It's a pretty easy choice.
It's easy for both sides. Like, what is Cooper? I mean, Cooper Flagg was going to go full Eli Manning. Like, never mind going back to Duke.
That'd be something.
That would be hilarious. Trade me to somewhere else that treats their stars better, or else I will go back to Duke. Duke fans like, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. No. He's going to Dallas is basically what all of that setup meant. Now it becomes expectation. And I actually think it's a kind of an interesting setup. The core for Dallas is Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Derek Lively, former Duke guy, as is Kyrie, and Klay Thompson, and now Cooper Flagg. Obviously, long-term, I believe that's also the starting lineup. The issue is I don't think Kyrie's going to be ready to start next year, right? Like 9 months for an ACL will be after, and that's kind of, on the faster end of recovery from those types of injuries for a explosive cutting player like he is. That'll be into the season. So he'll be ready to start the year. Talent on the roster is obvious, right? They were a near playoff team that got the number 1 overall pick. They're going to be good. I hope until Kyrie gets, because the other thing they don't have on the roster is an obvious point. like especially a superstar point guard when Kyrie is hurt. I hope they push Cooper Flagg to point forward, because the benefit of Cooper Flagg going to Dallas is he doesn't go to a bad team. He's going to a team that's going to have playoff – he's going to be playing meaningful basketball from the jump. He's going to be playing alongside multiple All-Stars from the jump, which is exciting. But also he misses out on kind of like the first year or two on a bad team as a number 1 overall pick when, for lack of a better term, the games don't matter because you're a bad team, but you just get a ridiculously high usage rate and you get to make your mistakes and you get to learn and you get to have the ball in your hands a ton. And I think that's like low-key valuable for those guys. Right? Maybe the most underrated player in the league is Cade Cunningham with the Pistons. Had them in the playoffs this year. He had years where I don't think anybody watched a Pistons game. Like nobody. They were just playing. He was just getting better in a vacuum. And now he gets to be a super good all-around player. He's number 1 overall pick. And there's a bunch of examples of that through history where you developed on a bad team with high usage, and then when the team was ready to compete, you had already played through all the snags in your talent or all the missteps, and you're ready to do that. Flagg's going to be on a good team right away with high expectations that needs to win, or else people are going to lose jobs. So I hope when Kyrie's not there, they do give him the ball a lot and say, listen, when Kyrie gets here, he's going to be running the show. But in the meantime, create for everybody. In the meantime, you're the guy that needs to get Klay Thompson open jumpers. In the meantime, you're the guy that needs to get Anthony Davis rolling to the bucket. You're the guy that's going to do all of that. And if you struggle a bit, cool. Learn from it. Move forward. Be better for it. I think that's maybe the most underrated part about Cooper Flagg's time in Duke is the improvement. Like, as far as I go, like when he committed to Duke and when that season was getting going and when my expectations grew and I picked them to win the national championship before the season, it was when I was watching film of the recruits and I went, "Whoo, goodness." Cooper Flagg's jumper was wonky in those. He dunked everything within like the paint, but his elbow was sticking out all kinds of weird ways. By the end of the season, really good three-point shooter, and it looked like a teach tape. It looked like form shooting. Shot over 40% from three in the ACC. The improvement is impressive. Give him that time. Give him that time while Kyrie is out and rehabbing to improve. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company before we send you into overdrive. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, in whatever order you want it. Plumbing, cooling, electric, heating. Maynard Service Company does it all. And I've been trying to get you to grasp how Maynard Service Company, while they are a very large company here in the Triangle, they operate as if they are your like down the street hometown neighbor who knows how to fix things. They are a part of the community. You see them out and about doing philanthropic things. But also they're like, your old school handyman. You can call them for darn near anything. They'll show up. They'll obviously be polite and all that. That goes without saying. But they'll fix what you need fixed. And they'll do so in a manner that is timely and is unlikely to need repairs in the future. They'll talk to you. They'll explain it. It's comforting, even from a company the size of Maynard Service Company. You see their trucks out and about. You know what they're working with. Give them a call, 919-361-0993. Plumbing, cooling, heating, electric, 919-361-0993. Or MaynardServices.com, MAYNOR Services.com. Coming up here to start Overdrive, I believe we have some Canes conversation, looking ahead towards tomorrow's Game 5 between the Canes and the Caps. So enjoy that. And anything else you missed during the show, I encourage you to check it out on YouTube. We're posting clips all the time. 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe while you're there. Search for it, find the video, subscribe, comment, share. We'd appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow for a hockey night in Carolina. Get you ready for Game 5. Until then, have a great night, everybody.
Hey, it's Adam Gold. And do you have a late night craving for in-depth analysis on the Carolina Hurricanes and their latest game, their latest win, their pursuit of the Stanley Cup? Well, I can quench your thirst. I can feed that appetite on the Canes Corner podcast, the morning after edition, which drops the morning after every Hurricanes game. Get it wherever you get your podcast. Brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up.